everyone, and welcome to the Giant Beastcast. I'm Vinny Caravella, joined, as always, by
Alex Navarro.
And here we are doing our episode 0.
Yeah, joining you as always is sort of a...
As always, what are we on? This has been like 10 years now of doing this, and frankly, I'm a little tired of it.
10 years in the making, at least.
So we decided we'll change up the format a little bit with the Giant Beastcast. Today, though, we have a very special guest joining us in the rotating third chair.
From NCIS New Orleans,
is Scott Bakula.
CBS star Jeff Bakula.
There you go. Thank you very much for having
me.
Appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen.
Do the oh boy.
I don't know what that is.
Do the oh boy.
Wait, you never watched Quantum Leap?
No, I didn't watch Quantum Leap, man.
It was good for a little while there, huh?
I had a good bit going
behind
the mic.
Yeah, you put the mic up. That's what you gotta do.
They're all like, if chat's like, it's out of sync. It doesn't make sense. What's going on?
Celebrating 6 years of NCIS New Orleans references here on the Giant Beastcast.
Wow, that was episode 0, folks. That was our very first Scott Bacular reference. It is episode 300 here on the Giant Beastcast. Happy 300. That was episode 0. This is 300. What?
Don't even fucking dip your toe in that pond.
It is
right
300.
Yeah.
300. It is February 18th, February 19th. Hopefully you stuck through that bit and didn't start and stop the podcast and be like, they're playing an old one. If you're listening to if you're listening to the recorded one.
Is that just occurring to you now?
Well, if you're listening to the audio version, wow, really messed that one up. But hopefully you stuck through. So we're having a little 300. This was the original episode 0 crew. Austin joined us at episode 1. And then here we are back to the episode 0 crew. Nothing has changed, really.
No.
Nothing. It's the more things change, the more things stay the same, is what they say.
I think that's fair. Literally nothing has changed.
Yep. This is where that was the same rotating chair you were sitting in back in 2015. Is that when we started?
Feels the same. 2000.
Or was it the end of 2014? I can't remember when we actually started it.
I don't know, but I feel like we deserve to have more episodes. I know it's once a week show, but
2015, May 22nd, 2015 was when that episode was posted.
Wow.
That's what it says here.
What a time.
Folks, episode 300, February 18th, February 19th, if this is were a Friday, which it will be tomorrow, but we're doing this live here. If you're listening to the audio version of this, again, hopefully you stuck around. And we do these live now, since we've been at home doing these on the internet around 1 o'clock. It happened. 1:30. Sorry, 1:30. We've officially started at 1:30.
Even that is kind of around.
It's around. It's what, Bacalar, you were here, so I want to give you credit for that. You were in the room. You were in the Zoom call at the right time.
The one time you talk about it pays off.
See, I appreciate it. Let me move things around here. Let's talk about stuff.
Oh, okay. Man.
I love stuff.
Whew, busy week.
Oh boy.
Busy week.
What's been going on with you, Vinny?
So Monday we had Monday was an unofficial day off. So we had that off. And I used that opportunity to go back to the doctor. It was supposed to be a relaxation day. Nothing's as relaxing as going to the doctor and making sure, your body is not completely boned. So TBD on that one. We'll find out.
Wait, you had like a physical?
No. I think I've got that pinched nerve that I need to go get figured out there. So, it's always good when the doctor goes, "What are you doing, man? You need to be on this stuff." I was like, well,
you got scolded?
A little bit. He was like, "It's been a month and a half. What's going on?" It's like, some of the times it felt like it was making progress, and then sometimes it was like, "You gotta get on this stuff. What are you doing? Caravella?"
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't just take a little bit of like, "Oh, I feel a little bit better," as like, "Oh, you're good." That's the dark secret and that's the thing. That's why none of my long-term injuries ever get better, is that I start feeling a little bit better. It's like, I don't need to do that anymore. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. Fine.
That'll work itself out.
Yeah.
So then Tuesday, I'm in I gotta go into the office. I gotta start packing the office up. If you haven't heard, since episode 0, Giant Bomb has been sold from CBS. Then it became Viacom CBS. and now we're sold off along with CNET and some other properties to Red Ventures. Red Ventures no longer or never owned the building that we used to be in.
Never.
They did not buy the building with us.
The building did not come with us. So
Wisely.
So we need to get out of spaces that we don't own and get into spaces that they do own at some point, which means packing it up, which means saying goodbye to that studio space that I have a real love-hate relationship with. That it was.
I'd love to hear more about the love.
Well, look, it's like
autonomy was good. It's always good. It was like our little space.
It's like having a car that constantly breaks down on you and constantly has problems, but like it was like your first car and it was yours, and you have a certain affection for it because it's the car that you had to just sort of like keep alive for a long time, and you just have this sort of attachment to it, even though you would be better served by a better car.
But it wasn't our first.
Are accurate because
it's
more
our first
like
car, and
it was our first studio that was ours.
Okay, that was ours. Yes, it was definitely the first because we shared that initial one with TV Guide. That when we were in what was it, 40th Street? I forget what street that office was on.
Yeah, well, somewhere up there in the 40s.
And then we moved into there. I'm doing the newsletter this week, so I'm gonna write up about that studio and kind of it's willing into existence as because Backlar was a part of this too. In the hey, we're now in New York. I know you're doing construction over there in this office. Can we carve out a little chunk of space for us? And the answer being no. We've already planned this out. Who are you again? We're giantbombing on the last space just a little bit. No, there's a bathroom maybe that we could. I don't know. So that's
There's a bathroom. We were playing that part in the movie, by the way. Like, who's the faceless CBS person who's like, we've got a storage closet we could give maybe half to you.
I think we carved out a little of the podcast room, right? That must have been, like we split the difference between a podcast room and there was a conference room next to us. So
right.
I think we got a little bit we were going to be in one of those back offices initially, but then they were like, no, we need all those offices for people that were never there.
You're really giving me a blast from the past there. I forgot all those logistical shenanigans that took place during those uncertain times.
It was and then at the end of the day, turns out nobody was happy with how the studio stuff went down.
Well, I mean, look, I think we were happy.
I'll go bring Brian on this show. And
if you find anything that guy's happy about, I'll give you $100.
You guys had to stick socks into the air conditioning vent to stop noise, or socks is maybe.
They were scarves. Number one, okay.
Oh, that's number much
two.
Better.
They were damp. The problem is that we had to make them damp. And that was just like a petri dish for mold.
Okay,
I don't like anything about this, man.
Yeah, it was perfect. Anyway, speaking of petri dish, I wound up having to go into the Port Authority, which so coming in is fine because you get in, you get off the bus, and you're out. Get out of the Port Authority as quickly as possible.
In under a minute, you can do it.
And you can get out of there pretty quickly. But then going home, I was a little shocked that lining up for the bus, they didn't have those little stickers, the 6 feet apart stickers. They were just, honor
what did
system.
I say to you?
He said, how in the world would people just not know at this point? Do they really need it?
And also, like, is COVID really the worst thing Port Authority has to worry about?
I don't know.
It's up there.
They're definitely a step ahead, brewing something new over there. They're on to the next thing.
They're like, you think COVID? Come on. But we got go to the basement.
Look, the next sequel in the storied COVID franchise is undoubtedly brewing right now underneath the floors there.
Yeah. So I was a little shocked there. People were generally pretty good. I'd say New York. Every time I go back in, which is not frequent, this is like my third time in there, I'd say about 50% of the people wearing masks, 25% wearing them incorrectly under their nose, like they're just not wearing them, and then 25% just not wearing them, which I'd say you know, and then walking around New York City, impossible to stay 6 feet apart. Like it is, you can try your best. As soon as you get to the first red light, everybody is bunched up, you know, try to spread out. But especially with the snow on the ground, you know, you get a lot fewer channels to walk
much narrower walkway.
Yeah. So it's a trip, man. It's a trip. The thing that blew my mind this time is not the mask stuff, not seeing New York with masks. It was not being back. It was starting to see COVID signage that was in disrepair. It was like starting to see old COVID signage, like even within the building, in the CBS building, like dirty COVID signs that say like, please wear your mask, that are like kind of falling off the wall a little bit, or like have been bumped into or torn down a little bit. That's just like, oh, right. We're going to have, hopefully we'll have old signage. Yeah, that's going to be like, oh, wow, remember this shit? Like, look at these old signs that there's still a COVID thing, you know, up in this bathroom that says
your problem too is that you view the entire world through like video game art director brain, and you're just like, oh, they did a really good job with the you know,
storytelling
with the decay. And you know, like that's the thing too. But yeah, man, that's gonna be a relic. We'll have relics of that, hopefully.
Yeah, like who's gonna get all those stickers up off the floor that say "stand here"? You know, like they're gonna be they're just gonna leave them there until they're worn away, right?
It just shows you how incredibly quickly, especially urban like grime and all that stuff comes into play. Like you know, left to its own devices, like that will just consume itself in a dusty, gross, tar-filled nightmare, unless we like clean it once a week.
The other thing that, again, this is a very, maybe it's not a unique situation, but it felt like it, or saying it now makes it seem like it. You know, the building has all these signs that are like, hey, stand 6 feet apart, or like, hey, this sink, you can only use this one, and this you know, bank of urinals, every other one, and there's signs like, don't use this one, use this one. And there's nobody in the building, and the signs are just kind of like not clean. You know, they're clean up there, but like it's just all this stuff that is set up for people being in a building operating there, but nobody's in there. So it definitely had that video game feel of like, oh yeah, nobody ever came back to this thing.
Well, our building is an exceptional sort of, you know, outlier, because you've got all that, right? Like when you were there, like they're still doing insane amounts of construction on the bottom floor,
on the lobby part. Yeah. So
when I went out there to get the stuff from the office that you had dutifully packed up, like I remember it was like, God, they're still working on this shit. Like, one, for who? And two, like, is this real? Like, is this not something we could have just put like, you know, a pin in until maybe everything kind of gets back to normal? I don't know.
Maybe it's the best time. Like nobody's, you know.
I think it's the latter. Yeah.
So I've heard it looks beautiful. I haven't seen it. I got to see Eugene. Hi, Eugene. He was there at the office. He had to be there to, you know, because somebody has to be in the office while I'm there. So he was there. He's still, you know, working with Viacom CBS or that building. So, you know, he was there, and then poor Eugene is like, when are you leaving? It's like, you know, soon, I think. Okay. You know, when are you getting out of here? Be like, all right, what do you want to leave, Eugene? Because he has to stay until I leave, which is, you know, weird. So yeah, packing up that studio was fun. I had to throw a bunch of stuff away because am I going to pack up Dan's weird, you know, science experiment stuff that he did with vials of liquid that no, I'm not, you know, no, you know,
straight in the garbage.
So I filled up about a dumpster worth of stuff, and then I'm not sure what to do with the rest of our stuff. You know, it's like I'm going to pack it up, but it's a little weird because I don't think we're going back to an office anytime soon, or at least a studio. You know, not mandatory, definitely, and I don't think a studio. So it's weird putting these things in piles. I'm like, when am I going to unpack this PS4? You know, like when like, or some of the stuff. By the time we unpack it and build a new studio, I have this thought in my head of like, this is going to go into storage somewhere, and then when it's time to rebuild a studio, is it going to be a thing where we're going to dig through boxes to get this stuff, or somebody's going to give us a budget and we're going to be like, okay, just buy this stuff you need again.
Right.
You know, so it's interesting. I've not had to do this before. You know, this is like, you know, built studios, you know, 6 times, but not have to put stuff away knowing that by the time we unpack it, it might be outdated. You know, who knows? We might be looking for gear that can handle HDR by the time, you know, we take it out of a box. Or we were luckily mostly 4K ready, so, you know, I would definitely be doing that to build the studio again. We'll see. Interesting stuff. But anyway, busy time. So I spent Tuesday doing that. Wednesday, a bunch of meetings to talk about some of that stuff and what we're doing moving forward. When we'll be doing, you know, office studio stuff, or what is going on, and the weird world we live in right now. But
oh boy, you said it.
I did play some of that Bowser's Fury, some of that Mario 3D World, and
that's fun, man. Love that.
So I played the Bowser's Fury part, did not play the 3D World part of that package. This is the thing that's on the Switch. Did not try the online multiplayer for the 3D World part, but I did do the local co-op on the Bowser's Fury. If you want to call it local co-op, you definitely have two people hold controllers. One person plays as Mario, the other person plays as Bowser Jr. in very much an assist mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is you know, they take on the role of Bowser Jr. and kind of can zoom to where Mario is and swipe coins, and you can even get shines as Bowser Jr. and Bowser Jr. can fly. So so you can get shines, you can get coins, you can hit enemies, and it kind of help out the person who's playing as Mario. I've enjoyed it. It's a weird take on the 3D World formula. It opens up the world a little bit more, where you kind of can run from Mario level to Mario level without loading into anything. It is kind of an open world Mario, more than Odyssey, or even, you know, there go the marbles upstairs. What's the shine one? Jeez, the great one that everybody loves with the water
Galaxy
pack. With the water.
No,
pack.
Sunshine.
Yeah, Sunshine.
What?
Yeah. So, you know, more so than that, because you're not even like really loading into these levels. You open up new areas by defeating this kaiju version of Bowser, who is taken over by this slime. It's weird. I'm on the fence whether I'm like, yeah, this is the direction they should go in, or like, this is a novelty and I'm not sure I would want a full-fledged game of this.
Yeah, I don't know that the whole Bowser, like, just sort of showing up at random intervals and being like, okay, it's time to fight Bowser now. Like, that is maybe not the part I would say make a whole game out of that. But the open world aspect of it, I think, is really fascinating. Like, the whole thing is
fascinating for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like this was just a tech demo that they were doing internally at the studio, being like, hey, what if we tried something like this for the next Mario? And they're like, put that shit in that Mario 3D World. Okay, just get that shit in there, like, flesh it out, make it some levels, and then let's see how people respond to it. And I think the open world aspect of it, people are responding very well to. And it's because it's cool. Like, it's just a cool, novel way to approach that stuff.
And you know, I've thought about it a bit, because I was listening to the Bombcast talk about it and other people talking about like the open world nature of it. And I think the thing that is different here is you don't trigger a level with anything. Like, you don't hit a flag, you don't throw your hat onto something to then, you know, instigate this level to pop up or initiate it. And so it is very much like you're in the middle of a level. If you fall down, you could run to the right and be in a different course. So that's a little different than kind of loading in or triggering the start of a sequence. That's like, okay, we're going to manipulate the level a little bit to start. But what they do have is, like you mentioned, Alex, Bowser on this timer that changes the level a little bit. It's like a day and night cycle almost, where every so often Bowser emerges from the muck and starts shooting fireballs at you, causes platforms to rise up, can change a bit of the level because only Bowser can destroy certain blocks with his flame, and then you are there to defeat Bowser by getting this giant cat bell, which turns you into this like Super Saiyan gigantic cat Mario. There's a real cat thing going on in this one, even more so than 3D World. Yeah,
it's cat boys all the way down, man.
Somebody needs to call into Nintendo and just make sure everybody's okay over there. And then you fight him. He's got a health bar. Eventually he goes away, and I have not beaten it yet. But playing with the kids. I got a cough. Sorry. Hold on.
Do it.
Pick it up.
It's okay.
Alex.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pick it up. Look, here's the thing. I think everyone should play this game in both the 3D Mario World form and the Bowser's Fury form. And I say that because I'm definitely the person that is still angriest about 3D World getting knocked off the top 10 the year it came out. So I'm just going to say right now, that game's still great. You should play it. There are aspects of its design that have not held up 100%, but overall, that game is still super fun and looks great. And I think that, like I said, the Bowser's Fury thing feels like an experiment, but it feels like an experiment that is still fun to play. And I would love to see what a more fleshed out version of that looks like, sans the repeated Bowser appearances. I think that there's a nugget of something there that they can definitely flesh out and build out to make the next great sequel in the Mario franchise. Because I don't know, I think Odyssey, with its like weird different worlds and stuff, like it had a little bit of that going on in each world, but it didn't really feel like this. And I think this is maybe a more novel and interesting approach to me.
Yeah, what do you think they do next though? I think it's Odyssey 2.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do an Odyssey 2 that had a structure something like what they're doing with Bowser's Fury. It would have to be a lot bigger.
Totally.
But I think you could do something like that. It would just take some finagling to make it work. But, you know, I agree. I think Odyssey 2 is probably what they're doing next.
I just want to echo that 3D World is great. I played it a lot with the kids, and it's a lot of fun. I think we hit our barrier in trying to get playing together and getting past. We're up to the point where we have to get like all the stars in everything, and that's gonna be kind of tough.
It's been giving my family a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety.
It's did you get to the Dory part where like everybody jumps on the back of the dinosaur and everybody gets a little say? Yes. Oh my gosh.
There's so much off-screen anxiety, right? Where like the screen doesn't keep up with you, or someone's left behind, and like there's you float in as a bubble. And
bubble up, everybody bubble up. I'll take the platforming here. Everybody else bubble up. Oh, I popped the bubble. Why'd you bubble up?
It's just giving people in this house a lot of anxiety.
Yeah,
it's just like staying on screen is really, really this like tough dynamic right now, so we're trying to get through it, but
it's better.
It is fun. Like we're having more fun than we are anxious. So
I like it much more than New Super Mario Brothers. I think it is I think for the multiplayer mechanic. Like I find myself having an easier time playing with young kids in 3D World. But yeah, sometimes it could be a little maddening. Like how about you guys just jump out for this level? Go take a powder.
Yeah, why don't you guys just do like he's like, Dad, I'm dying over and over. I'm like, I know. This is what we got to do.
It gets to the point where it's just like, hey, team, all right, huddle up. What are we doing here? We're trying to get all the stars, right? So if we pass the star, we got to start over again. We might as well just jump off. Everybody bubble up, and I'm going to jump in a cliff. Don't hit the flag. All right, need to put your hands in. We're getting all the stars. Don't run past it. If we get especially those timed ones where it's like you go in the pipe and it's like, listen, we can't mess this up. We got one shot at this. We're going in that pipe. We got to get this stuff. If we mess this up, we got to start the level over again. Are you on it? You on it? No, look at me. Are you on it? Good. Pay attention. You stand on the left platform. Stand on that left. It's a little intense.
It's almost like this like Nintendo co-op, like rule, like scientific rule, where it's like in no Nintendo co-op game will everyone feel good. Right? It's like this law that's been proven over and over and over again, and it's just like someone will feel left out, distant, and shitty by the end of our session. You can't undo this law. It's a fact. It's a scientific fact, and that's just what we have to deal with. But
it's classic. It's classic Nintendo. It's fun and wholesome until it's serious. Until it's not. Until it gets deadly like serious.
Feverishly competitive. Yeah.
So that's fun. That's Bowser's Fury part of that 3D World, Mario 3D World bit. It's again good game. Bought it on the Switch. Fun stuff. Play some more of that Destiny 2, but I'm still not ready to get back in there. Got that season pass cooked up, ready to go. I saw some people talking about the exotic quest being good. Haven't just ramp up time.
It's not just that people are saying it's good. I've heard people say it's one of the best exotic quests they've ever done, which that's high praise.
Praise.
Not that I would know because I never did any of that shit.
I'm at the Destiny part where I have a ton of exotics and my guns are just I I feel bad putting exotics in the bin because I never in the vault because then I never take them back out again. Like I don't know, too many freaking guns in that game. Like too much stuff. Okay, you guys probably have no opinion on this. Chat probably does. I am blown away every time I go to the Eververse and look in there how much stuff costs. It is ridiculous. $6 for an emote or $10 for like a skin or something. Like you're out of your goddamn mind. Like I always think the silver is like a decimal point off where it is like $10 for 1,000 silver. That can't this thing costs 1,000 silver. It must be like $1. And then I look in there and it's like, no, this is $10. You're out of your damn mind, Destiny. You're out of your damn mind. Put more stuff for Bright Dust. I got so much freaking Bright Dust. That Bright Dust up the ass. But like, I'm not buying a $10 exotic skin.
Congratulations, Vinny. You're doing the video game version of saying candy bars used to be a nickel. Great job.
I mean,
no, I'm telling you, $10. You would spend like $60 getting an outfit together.
No, but look,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's silly, but like, they wouldn't do it if people weren't buying it. I don't know.
Clearly, like, stop doing it. It's too much.
Look, I'm with you. Don't buy. You want to buy a couple, cosmetic little doohickeys, go nuts. But like, spending that kind of money, and you're feeding the beast in a way you don't want to be feeding it.
Oh man, they do the thing where they'll rotate in a part of a set into Bright Dust, which is the free currency you get. And it's like, well, you get this helmet for Bright Dust, and it's like, all right. And then it's like, you want to complete the set, man? It's only $17 more. You can complete the set. We're never going to rotate the rest of the set into Bright Dust, but or maybe you'll get a drop. Who knows what'll happen? Who knows? Man, tough going. I mean, I guess I'm mad because some of the stuff in there is cool looking. They kind of want it. I'm like, oh, that is this chrome, this fully chromed out outfit does look really cool.
I'm with you. I'm still, 15 years later, really impressed that they actually they were all able to get people to buy stuff that doesn't matter. Like that's still the thing that I remember thinking all those years ago, like that'll never fucking work. And then here we are where it's like, because you did buy some of that stuff. I know you did with your fucking Bright Dust or whatever the hell it's called. Silver dust.
I bought some stuff with Bright Dust. Have I bought silver? No, I still have $10 sitting in my silver account because man, that stuff's too expensive.
You just got to let that appreciate, man. It'll grow with time, you know?
My digital locker. Thanks, Tess. Give me a little discount in there. Let's wait for it to go on sale. I don't know. It's anyway, that's my Destiny 2 saga continuing. I will try and get to that exotic quest, but I've been playing a lot of Dragon Quest Builders 2 is what I've been thinking. It's like after grinding out the end of that season pass in Destiny, hitting 100 in there, I'm just taking a break. Dragon Quest Builders 2, putting a lot of time in. Still really enjoying that game. I got past this weird part that was like a really horny bar building part that I'm glad I'm kind of on the other side of. Everybody was a whole weird thing. Everybody in that town needs to relax a little. Bit. It's gonna be okay. Just we're done with it now, and cool it a little bit. Just everybody take a breath and cool it a second. We're gonna get the bar done. But like 3 bars in that town, and all these people do is just like, when's that bar gonna go? Who's dancing at the bar? Just like, all right, relax, everybody relax. Past that part, but enjoying that a lot. Can't wait for the kids to get up to that part and be like, why are these guys just so horny? What else? I played some of the Room 4 on the PC. I guess this came out a while ago on mobile.
Oh, like the
Room 4,
the lockbox game.
Yeah. The what are the puzzle box game? So I really like the Room series. I don't like the direction they kind of went in. That was a little more magic. Once they started having everything had this like special magic lens that could change and alter the space in weird ways.
It felt like a needless like dimension to it, right? Like,
yeah, it's got this like Elder God thing going on, which, I don't mean Elder God like Raiden. I mean Elder God like Cthulhu-esque, Old God, I should say. It's like, the Old Gods thing going on. The darkness is in there. But I feel like it used to be. Now this is me. Candy bars used to be a nickel. It used to be a little bit more mechanical. Like, oh, okay, you turn this lever, you do this thing, and like this thing pops up, and that's awesome and weird. But but then they kind of went to like put this lens on. Now you can see through time and space and dimensions. Don't love that as much. And I was like, oh, maybe this one will not have it. It does. It starts off that way. But I still love it. I think the sound design in those games are so good. So good. It's every little click, clack, tick, 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 tick. Every you turn the knob. It's just, I really enjoy it. There's something that tickles my brain about those games.
Yeah, you love that. That's fine. That's good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a look at that again. This is now on the PC. They've done some work on it, fidelity wise, on the PC. I didn't play it on the mobile version, but their trailer shows work on it. The Room, and this is The Room 4. I know it's not a very standout name.
I feel like that was like one of the first games I really got into, because I've never had an iPhone, so it's always Android, and it's like, you get support for a very popular game about 2 years after it first comes out. And The Room 2 was like, I was obsessed with that thing on the train for months.
It's cool, right? Like the motion controls are good in it as well.
Really good, yeah.
So playing on the PC, I thought maybe, it's not going to have that tactile feel of like, moving.
Right.
But it worked. It's working with mouse and it's mostly mouse really. But it works.
Nice.
And finally, I played some of that Valheim.
Valheim,
which it's just like Dragon Quest Builders 2. It is
Vikings. They're so hot right now.
It's this. I heard talk of it. I hear tell of it, and I downloaded it to give it a try. Bought it. Check it out. All right.
How do you feel?
I enjoy those games. It's the reductive thing is it's Minecraft-esque. The less reductive thing, probably it has, Rust and all those other games. Who calls them stick and rock games? Somebody calls them that. It is get the thing, chop a tree down with your hands, build an axe, use the axe to build a crafting station, or in this case, a hammer to do that. I kind of like its progression. Just fine. The look of the game is wild. It's got this like Comanche voxely grime look to it, but also sometimes it looks beautiful and great, and other times it looks god awful. I don't know. It's doing this weird thing depending on how I look at it.
That's interesting.
It's still early access, so the UI parts are a little clunky. I got up to a part where I needed leather scraps, which meant I had to hunt a bunch of like boars, and that got tedious, and running around trying to find the boars was tedious. But I like repaired a house, and that was cool. And then
it's
I put
hot right now, man.
Put a fire. Speaking of hot, I put a fire in the house because it needed to be near the bed. But then I kept walking into the fire and burning myself, which was bad.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna play that on the Friday show. I think we're gonna get some folks in there and give it a shot. I'm trying to get my character leveled up a bit. I dig it. I'm not sure yet. Mm-hmm. We'll see how it goes. You kick a boar and it like explodes in a blood burst, and like that's like a big.
That's just like real life, man.
Yeah, so it's just like real life, and that part's interesting. Valheim.
That's it. That's the draw for you, is being able to explode boars on foot contact.
Yeah,
that's really what you're there for.
That's what I think Minecraft was missing. It's what I think Builders 2 is missing. So yeah, we'll see. Here's the other thing about Dragon Quest Builders 2, because it's really where I've been like chilling out playing the late night stuff. It made me think about playing all the Dragon Quest games. But there's a lot of them, and
there's at least 11.
And I'm not sure I want to. I don't know if I want to do that. Because this one takes place, I think, in the Dragon Quest 2 or 3 universe. Like, it's got this, like, alternate timeline thing. And I was like, oh, yeah. Like, Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior, if you're here in the States, I was always on the Final Fantasy side growing up and never played the Dragon Quest stuff or Dragon Warrior stuff again at the time. And I was like, yeah, that is kind of a hole in my knowledge. I didn't really play that stuff. Would I enjoy it? I don't know, going back to it. But then I don't know. Who's got that? Maybe I'll just cheat my way through it. I don't know. Read a wiki, right? That's what the kids say. Alex, what you been up to?
Well, I've been off this week.
Yeah.
I took some time this week to just make my brain work better, and that's been nice. I haven't been playing a lot of video games. I did check out the Mario stuff, and I've been playing some more of the Persona 5 Strikers, which is simultaneously getting better and worse at the same time. As you upgrade your characters in that game and you start getting better like gear, and sort of you're able to fuck up enemies a lot better in that game, which is fun. And like I think my problem with the early goings in that game is that those boss fights feel like laborious because you don't have a lot of good gear yet, and they don't give you a lot of money right out of the gate. But once you kind of start buffing everyone up, it's just like, oh no, here's how this game is supposed to flow. This is starting to sing.
So we should remind folks, if they don't know, Persona 5 Strikers is the Musou Dynasty Warriors-esque Persona 5 game.
Developed by Omega Force, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like I'm enjoying that aspect of it more. I also have a feeling that game's gonna be way too long because they are trying to do. It's probably not going to be 100 hours long like a Persona game, but it already feels like every section of that game is at least a quarter too long. And I understand there's a certain expectation around you are playing a Persona product. You are going to be here for a while. But I'm already starting to think maybe that while is going to be too long because I'm only in like the second area and I've put like 20 hours into that game, close to it, maybe a little less. Yeah, I hopefully it stays interesting the whole way through. But right now it's like I'm having fun, but I am starting to side eye and wonder whether I'm going to continue having that fun for the duration. Yeah.
We'll record something with that, and it's out next week.
It's out next week. I believe Tuesday is when it is out. So we will have something for launch day for that. And then my other project this week has been getting my new electronic drum set.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Is it okay? Nice. Now, having a new toy and taking some time off, that's living. That is I'm not saying those things didn't happen by coincidence, but I'm picking up what you're putting down. Like having like a. Okay, I can sit and enjoy putting this thing together, having a project and a fun new thing. So how's it been going with your new drum kit? Your electronic drum kit.
Yes, yeah. So I bought a Roland kit. It is the TD17 model, and it is lovely. I spent a day setting it up, getting it going, just playing it on its own. It's got something like 50 or 60 drum kits already kind of built into the brain, and then some room to add your own, which I may start looking into at some point. But just on its own merits as an electronic drum set, fan-fucking-tastic. And I'm still using, as you can see, the drums that were made by Dustin Morabito. So I have the pads if any of those ever break, and I can just replace them with the ones that came with the kit. But for now, I'm just using those. Nice. So I've replaced the kick module, and I'm using a couple of the cymbals that I had from the old kit and a couple of the new ones they gave me, and I've got the drum brain set up. And then yesterday,
Alex. If those listening to the audio, Alex is leaning over. Here he goes.
He's picking up the drum brain.
So I'm finally using this thing, which is the Rock Band MIDI adapter.
Put some gloves on when you touch that thing. Isn't that that's like the $700?
No, it's not. That's not the one. That one you can. It's still like a little overpriced, but you can still find these around. The other adapter, the one that makes the 360 stuff work on the Xbox One and the Series X. That's the one that costs $1 million.
Okay. So this is still somewhat available.
Yeah, but so I bought this thing when it came out, when Rock Band 3 came out, and I have never used it. So I was very scared that somewhere amid the multiple cross-country moves I have done since then, that thing would be broken. It is not. It works ace plus. I plugged it in. I had to do almost no tweaking of anything to get it to work with the game, which is lovely. There's one pad that's acting a little hinky. That might just be a sensitivity issue. If I end up having to replace it, it's really not the end of the world because, like I said, I have the other ones. But I just tried it with the game last night and it works. It just works.
So there is a world in which you can now, on this Zoom call, if we figured it out, with the right program open, just put a kit in there and play us some digital drums. Just
yeah, I can give you a rim shot every single time
there
you make a dad joke.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
The possibilities are endless.
There's no other way to do this than to have bought this kit and have you actually play live. It's the only way this could work. Well, that is super fun. I'm glad. So you've been enjoying your time with it?
Yeah, like I'd been wanting to pull the trigger on this for a long time, and I finally was just like,
trigger.
you know what? Yeah, and it's because at some point I'm going to start needing to record some demo stuff for my band. So I just needed something that actually made sounds, and I'm very happy with what I went with. I'm stoked. In fact,
I'm stoked for you, man.
I'm
jealous. I want that.
Should have gotten them to. We should have been talking about this before you bought them, so we get some. Just send them sponsor you. Just you know what I'm saying.
Look, I'd been putting off this purchase for literally a solid 10 years. So I at this point I was happy to finally just pull the trigger and do it.
Gotta get that pinball, those pinball machines, those drum kits coming in. Got 7 drum kits here. Gonna stream some.
Just
drum
need
kits.
one though, right? Like that's the thing. Just need that one.
Just need that one.
Yep.
Bacalar, how you doing?
I'm not doing well.
Oh no!
Oh no!
What's up?
We should have gone with me last and ended on a high note.
Well,
okay, what's going on?
What's going on, Bacalar?
I wish I was high because I am not doing well.
Jeez, whoa.
I have just had like a series of unfortunate, mishaps with my week.
Oh no!
I'm just I feel like I'm okay. Everything's fine for the most part. You know, I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just had like a lot of like real dumb injury things and health dumb things and like really almost what else can you do but put your hands up and laugh doctor moments where you're just it's been tough. On Sunday I woke up and I had a huge sty in my eye.
Get your fingers out of your eyes. What are you doing?
The eye sty.
The eye sty.
And
I sty with my gigantic sty.
Yeah, and it looks way better today. I was so close. I was thinking about wearing sunglasses on the podcast today because of how gnarly this shit looked yesterday.
I would have respected that as a power move.
I know, but I'm not trying to impress anyone here, so it would have fallen.
Oh, you wouldn't, but I'm just saying, I would respect it as a power move.
You showed me. You got a very Nicholson pair of shades there. That was a little, it was a little much.
we're not gonna do that whole thing again. But
okay.
So I'm constantly very uncomfortable. Like my eye, it's my right eye, and if you ever had a sty, the best way I can describe it is just like a pimple in your eyelid
underneath their eyelid.
And what's so wild, you guys, is I had one a year ago to the day. Yeah, I mean, it's just a coincidence. Don't look for any other sort of cosmic meaning to that. It's just a year ago to the day.
You're the chosen one.
I'm the chosen sty idiot.
If you peel your eyelid down, it's a map to the ancient treasure. Yeah. It shows
That's
up.
Exactly right. Nick Cage is hiding in my eyelid.
Only on that day each year when the sty appears may you enter the Mortal Kombat tournament.
That's right. It's a birthmark. So wait, is it Valentine's Day? You get it on Valentine's Day?
Roughly, yeah. Because I remember going to the eye doctor last year and I could not go back for a follow-up because of the lockdown.
Do you eat something? Do you have a Valentine's Day meal?
Let's not try and fucking litigate the sty.
I'm not taking it to court. I'm wondering,
just saying.
Okay.
It's just crazy, and this one is way worse than the one I had last year.
Okay.
And your eye, when you get a sty there, you can tell it's coming for a couple days. You know, you rub your eye and you feel something there, and you're like, "Well, that's not right."
Okay.
You know, and then a day goes by and your eye starts to water, and then one day you wake up and it feels like there's just debris, unlockable debris in your ocular cavity.
Yes, stop.
And
no, because I've never had one.
And you're just like, what is this? And you wake up and your eyes sort of closed because
I got a lash in my eye and I can't get it out.
You know, we won't get into the gory details, but there's just a lot of gunk situations happening and shit, man. And people see you and they're like, oh my God, what happened to your eye? And you're like, no, it's not pink eye, it's a sty. sty, from what I understand, is not necessarily contagious the way pink eye is, and you know, it really is bad. So I had to go to a doctor during the sty eye, and the doctor's like, "What are you doing here?" Like, it was just a whole. Also, and I hate to make this just like, "Oh, what's wrong with Jeff hour here," but that's what you guys are gonna get.
How is that different from the rest of the shows?
Oh, fuck you, man. So so I did something to my wrist about a month ago. Okay. I was ice skating and I was pushing my kid on one of those, like, you know, ice skating shark things that it's like a training sled thing. And I was, you know, we're doing it in a little area, and I was making a turn, and I made like a really wide turn, and I felt when you push down, you know, sometimes too hard, I felt nothing snapped, but I just felt like, oh, that was something. Right. That was something. 2 days later, I get this injury every now and then. I usually, when I'm playing hockey, when I stop myself from like going into the boards real hard, I'll like put the ulnar bone
it's a jam.
Right here.
You jam your wrist, basically.
Yeah, I believe it's the ulnar is the bone right here. Or like the nerve, that area. It's your pinky side of your wrist.
I don't like any of this. Yeah.
Just relax, man. I'm okay. Just, right. You know,
I mean, he's moving his hand, so it can't be that bad.
Because today it's so much better.
Oh, good.
And you know, like I could tell something, and then it doesn't swell, doesn't do anything, but it's so tender that like doing that is like shooting ice pick pain. Like I cannot even describe.
Wow. Okay.
So that was 2 weeks ago, and then something happened, and I like re-injured it, and that compounded injury came out. So I was like closed, swollen eye, leaky, broken wrist, unable to touch or do anything. Then I have to go to this doctor's office, and the doctor's office was like requiring me to like do things with my. We'll just spare you the details, but it was like this ridiculous what I could only chalk up to as a comedic event, where I was just like, "Is this what happens? Like you just wake up one day and like everything's broken and wrong, and you're just like this fucked up hunk of meat."
No, what happens is like you're gonna walk in, like your knee's gonna give out or something, and you're just gonna like walk in on your son with like a little doll version of you, of you, like yanking, moving. We're like, where'd you get this? I don't know. I found it in a dusty old lockbox in our basement. I thought it was a toy. Put it away.
The thing that pisses me off is that I was perfectly happy getting injured playing hockey.
Right, yes.
That's a warrior injury, man. You can brag about that.
Being the oldest cat on my team, being like, I'm only gonna have to take a couple shifts this period because I'm a fucked up old man. And then a couple weeks ago, that person wrote in about middle age, and all this stuff is coming in, and it's like it's suffocating me. Okay, and I'm down here now.
Oh no!
And you're making me feel a lot better about that dumb old man rib injury I got a couple weeks ago that still hasn't 100% healed, but is mostly back to normal. I don't feel quite as bad about it now.
And you know, the fucking snowplow guy, so I can't even begin to explain to you the pain that goes on with this injury I get. But here's the wildest thing, guys.
What's up, guys?
So Tuesday. Pain like I cannot even describe.
Yeah.
Thursday today.
Yeah.
I would play hockey today. Like if I had a game, I would play. That's how much better it feels.
I'm not. That's false security right there, man. That's like, the wrist trying to lull you.
You're like Wolverine. Look at you.
But like doing this would have caused like excruciating pain.
Okay. Yeah.
This too. Look, it's fine now. Yeah. So I don't understand how this wrist injury heals so quickly, but it happens to me. It's happened to me. This is probably like the fifth or sixth time it's happened to me over the course of like a dozen years.
Got pinball wrist.
I wish it was pinball wrist. Anyway,
well, I'm glad you're on. It sounds like you're on the mend.
You're on the mend.
The wrist.
I swear, one day, maybe 10 years from now, I will describe the specific scene in the doctor's office that I experienced because I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I told you about this.
Yes,
Vinny.
it was very funny.
It is very funny in a way that
curb
like
your enthusiasm.
I was like searching for the soundbite on my phone to just like play it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something. Let me
Take care of yourself, especially as we're all sitting for hours a day and not moving.
I know. I mean, you and I talk about like sitting rot and being in like city shape.
Yeah. I've been doing the thing you recommended, which is I've been getting up a little earlier before the kids start school and trying to emulate the mileage walk that I used to do to and from the office. So it's for me, it was about 2.5 miles. So I'm trying to just make sure I can get that in a day and start moving around. Also,
that's the move, man.
I realized because I got this thing and, with I think a pinched nerve is what it sounds like. I got to get some tests. But I realized, like, when I'm looking at my monitors, I think they're too low. I think I am constantly looking here, and I think I should be looking up here. So I'm going to raise them up a little bit so that I'm looking straight, so my neck isn't for 10 hours a day looking down like that.
That's an interesting take. I've heard stuff like that before.
Yeah, I realized as I've been trying to, I was like, when he said maybe it's in my neck, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that until I started rotating my neck and almost fell to the floor. And there was like, maybe you got something there.
You don't want that.
Let me tell you this too.
Yeah.
You gotta stretch.
You gotta keep it stretched out. Limber.
My wife is super limber, and she'll like lead me in these stretches, which ultimately just make me feel like a pile of shit because she's like putting her nose to her knees, and I'm like, I can't even touch my ankles, lady. Like,
oh no, me either.
And she'll just be like, and I also have no neck. I know now everyone sees me on the pile, but there's really not. There's like barely a neck here.
No, it's nothing.
They used to call me no neck.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Why'd they stop?
I don't know them anymore. So then,
okay, they called you that one too many times. You're like, you're out of my life.
And I excommunicated them.
Yeah.
They just didn't get a holiday card anymore, and they knew it was over. And so that was it. And like, stretching is so important.
Everybody stretch out.
You can stretch out a couple days a week. And honestly, plank, like doing the plank stretch where you engage your core.
Yeah.
For me, and back pain has been so beneficial in a way that I cannot describe.
Well, let's talk about video games for a second.
No. This is more because your health is more important than video games. Ultimately.
Nah.
Really?
Nah.
That's the first time hearing of this.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Nah. What are we gonna do? We'll just talk about the trackpad for the NES,
the power pad.
The power pad. We'll talk about the
speaking of video games, I do want to mention one thing about video games in my little section here that is unrelated to anything I've played, but I want to bring it up because someone in our listening audience was so helpful. Okay. Because a week ago, when I was perfectly injury-free, someone in the chat was like, hey, I'm going to help you with your arcade situation. And Erevan in the chat, super helpful, wrote me this amazing, detailed sort of like, explainer about the arcade scene and what's going on right now. So I just want to thank that person very quickly. Thank you for doing that for me. You didn't have to do that. Such an effort. Appreciate it. I have not played any video games on account of the eye. Oh. So I yield the rest of my time here.
Okay. I think we're going to take a break then and come back.
Okay.
This will be fun. Here's a little behind the scenes bit for you all. I gotta play an ad. We have an ad to play, and I don't think we've had one of these. So if you're a premium person watching this live, you're gonna hear this ad, obviously. But if you're listening to this,
run from the room, scream.
If you're hey, listen, I don't know, do what you want. But if you're listening to the audio version premium, it's just gonna be cut out. But I gotta make sure this works. So if you're watching this live, we're gonna take a quick break here. I'm gonna try and play this thing. And we'll see if it all works here. So stick around, stay tuned. I got a little finagling to do here. Here we go. I'm gonna play this music. We're gonna fade to black. Then the thing will come up and it'll come down. You know the business.
I want to see this. I'm excited.
Well, you're not gonna be able to hear it, but you can watch it. Okay, here it goes. Folks, today's show is brought to you by Harry's. Harry's. Too often, we're choosing between quality or a fair price. Harry's You don't have to choose. Alex Navarro.
Yes.
Harry's.
Harry's.
How are you?
I'm good, and I'm also freshly shaved because I've used the Harry shaving products.
Harry's. You know Harry's. We've had Harry's before. They got that factory in Germany, so they can control their manufacturing process. Says here, Alex Navarro, Harry's, this German factory, one of the select few manufacturers in the world that have mastered the technology to create a Gothic arch, which is, according to my notes here, is the gold standard for razor blade grinding, which sounds impressive to me.
I mean, Gothic arch is also how I would describe my personality. So I think that, the Harry's, I think both the contours of its blades and the contours of its brand are shaped for me.
Alex, you got some Harry's stuff. You shaved with it.
I did.
Well, I'm going to say right here up at the front, for a limited time, Harry's is offering the starter set that comes with free body wash, and you get that for $3 at harrys.com/beast. What'd you wind up using there, Alex?
I used all of it, man. I shaved. I used the razor. I have nightmare facial hair where it is thick in the worst spots and patchy in the easiest spots. So I hate shaving, and let me tell you right now, it was a quality shave. It was pleasant. Their various lubricating products did the job. I am not a body wash man. I am generally a bar soap man, but I use the body wash, and folks, it smells lovely.
That's fantastic. Lovely smelling Alex Navarro is what we all really, really want. If you want to shave, and I feel like things are getting it's a little cold here now. It's actually snowing as I record this. When things warm up, someday we will get outside. You'll want to shave, I think, eventually. People will need to shave. So Harry's has your back there. For a limited time, Harry's has an exclusive offer for listeners of this here show. New customers can get a Harry's starter set and a free body wash for just $3 at harrys.com/beast. That's over a $16 value for just $3. You'll get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, a travel cover, a travel-size body wash. It's an incredibly great deal, but act fast while supplies last. Go to harrys.com/beast to redeem your offer. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
And thanks, Harry's. And we are back, and it is time for the news. Now, normally, as we all know from 300 episodes here, is Alex Navarro going through, picking that news out, those news chunks. But Alex is off this week. Bacalar. Let's see what Bacalar finds.
But he's here.
Yeah, I know, because he's an angel. Because he's
I'm sure he gets that all the time.
This is the face that runs the place. All
That's
right.
Right. That's
it's got to
right.
be here.
Got to be here. It says on the back of his each bicep says got to, and then it says be here. I don't know what that means. Bacalar, you pick the news. Let's get into it. What do you got?
I don't care who knows it. I like the taste of Beyond Burgers. Have you ever had a Beyond Burger?
What happened? What'd you do during the break?
I got some shit the other day from my friends.
Oh,
who were like, what are you eating a Beyond Burger? Don't do that, Alex.
What?
Don't rub your eyes like that.
Oh, sorry. I forgot about your eye stuff. Yeah,
I want to rub my eyes so bad.
Yeah,
but
I know you can't. I'm sorry.
The ball will just fall out.
Oh, stop.
Here, I'll do this.
Also, if you're not putting enough stuff on your hamburger to not even taste the meat anymore, then you're doing it wrong. Put enough. You gotta put horseradish, some mayonnaise, some ketchup, maybe a little hot sauce.
They're
guacamole.
Also, they're good. Beyond Burgers are good.
I'm just saying.
I know it's just science gone crazy, but like it's good, and I get it. Like I do think there's this misconception of people who are just like, well, this is the healthier thing to eat. I feel like jury's still out on that because like the caloric and fat contents are very similar to beef. But if you're looking to not eat animals or, help prevent the ecological disaster that eating meat.
Oh, you mean the one we're currently living in?
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
so Anyway, someone made me think of that when I was coming upstairs, and I was like, yeah.
They're good. They're good. Like you said, they may not be that much healthier, but it's still, nonetheless, they are nice. They're a nice alternative.
I varied up. I varied up once in a while. I'll go for a good old Beyond Burger, or what's the other one? The not a burger, the Impossible Burger. I'll switch them up once in a while. What else you got going on in the news?
That's how I'd start the news, by the way. I just give a very random thought.
This is why we don't give you news.
Yeah, that's right. We are definitely in the news segment here.
Well, let's start things off with the Nintendo Direct that happened yesterday.
Sure.
I missed all of this because I was a busy boy, but I came and I looked at this after the fact, and I'm going through all this stuff. And I'm seeing how Nintendo hadn't done one of these in a year and a half.
It can't have been that long.
I think it was.
It's been a while.
I think it was. I remember seeing like the 500 days thing being thrown out.
They must have done at least like a Nindies thing somewhere in the middle of that.
Maybe.
They musta.
Maybe.
Well,
anyway,
we streamed it and we talked over it. If you want to watch that happened over on the GB side. I think that's posted yesterday, so you can check that out if you missed it and you want to hear us our wild hot takes on that Nintendo Direct. But why don't you give us a bit of a rundown here, Bacalar?
I'm just gonna blow through it.
Yeah.
So there was the first thing is a Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The Pyre character is joining Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing to add there, or
which character?
Pyre.
Oh, I thought you said a character from Pyre. Sorry, I was confused.
No, that would have been possibly more interesting. But
I think it's Pyra, right?
Okay.
Pyra and Mithra. Okay.
Are those Xenoblade characters?
You can say anything. And
No,
I'll be like, I believe you.
It's the news. You can't say anything. We gotta.
Well, for the context of like my familiarity with these characters, that's news.
The news there. So no, I don't have a. I played Xenocross, I think, and that's about it. I'm not well versed in the Xenosaga, Xenochronicles.
Well, that makes three of us.
Yeah.
I have roughly the same reaction to that announcement as I do any Fire Emblem character being announced. So,
all right, so then we can move along.
Yeah.
Fall Guys is coming to the Switch this summer.
Surprised it wasn't already there.
I didn't know it wasn't already there. It's also coming to Xbox.
Okay.
As a little aside, outside of the
That's
Nintendo
right. It was on PS Plus.
thing.
I forgot.
I did realize that watching the Fall Guys announcement, I realized that Fall Guys is the answer I never have for the Beastcast questions that come in regularly of like, what game do you feel like other people really got into that you just never caught on with you? And it's like, oh, Fall Guys. I don't get it. I don't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy my time with it.
I think it's fun to do once.
It was a great week I had with that game, and I was done.
That's what I mean.
I thought it controlled very poorly, and playing it with friends was not a fun experience.
I mean, you could also just say you weren't good at it, is what all this sounds like.
Yeah, I probably I get good at Fall Guys.
Once you get good,
I tried.
Also coming to Switch is Outer Wilds and Samurai Warriors 5.
Yeah, you put those together. First of all, Outer Wilds, fantastic game. I hope it runs really well on the Switch. I know it had a bit of performance stuff on consoles, but I hope it runs well on that Switch. And then, Shadow Warriors.
No, Samurai Warriors.
That's right, Samurai Warriors. Another game I'm not a lot of knowledge about.
I mean, yes, you do have knowledge about it because it's a Warriors game, dude. Like they make those games.
Sure. Yeah. It's I been doing this long enough to have gone through the kind of all the stages of a Musu game. Like I'm angry at these, acceptance, grief a little. I have come to okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's fun to be had. Talk to people, understand where people are coming from. I get it. Enjoy them, play them. Best time to be playing video games.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. Moving
along. Two Famicom Detective Club games stories are going to be localized, and they will be headed to the Switch on May 14th.
These are weird. These are so as far as I can tell, and from hearing Jeff Gersman talk about it, so these are old, as they said in the direct Famicom games that were called something else. I forget what they were called, but they're being translated, like you said, and now that's interesting to me.
They're like visual novel things, right? Like
yeah, but
so these aren't being released as part of like the old console stuff on Switch. This is a separate release.
Did they say, Jeff? And did they clarify in that? I did not catch that. Like how
they're being remade and ported to Switch on May 14th.
Okay, yeah, I'm not. I didn't catch that part. Like what the price is, or if it's coming out as part of the. Did they have a name for that thing? The like classics or oldies section?
No, I don't know. The thing I'm reading here from Kotaku says there are two stories. One is called The Missing Heir, and one is called The Girl Who Stands Behind.
Yeah, they look neat. They look modernized in a way that it looked very Ace Attorney. I'll be curious. That's probably one of the things I was more curious about from this direct.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff just it does feel like here's what we could do in a pandemic.
Yeah.
For lack of a better phrase,
for the entire direct.
Well, I mean, I think look, I didn't see it live. I think that the takeaway was people were just sort of like, oh, that's lukewarm and sort of okay.
Well, look, I mean, there were a couple of things in there that I think that were relatively well received. There's one I want to talk about, which is the Mario Golf.
I just want to say quickly, relevant. Chat is saying $35 each for those remakes of the for the Famicom Detective Club.
That's $35.
Maybe a little pricey.
That's a lot.
Seems
like a lot.
Maybe a little pricey.
Anyway,
sorry, Alex. What did you say? You were.
There's a Mario Golf.
Yeah, yes.
Mario Golf. They're doing Mario Golf.
They're doing Mario Golf Super Rush is what the game is called. It's going to have a bunch of different modes. June 25th. That's exciting. I love Mario Golf. Let's play Mario Golf.
I hope it's more like old Mario Golf and it is not like what they kind of did with the Mario Tennis, which I was not like. I think there were some things about the last Mario Tennis that I enjoyed, but that game did not stick with me at all.
I enjoyed that game. I think that game to me is a tennis game second in a lot of ways. Judging from the trailer I watched, this does feel like a more traditional presentation of the game of golf. So I think for what you're looking for specifically, you might be well served, but we'll sort of see. Yeah, but I'm stoked. I mean, let's do it. It seems just about time for Mario to start playing some golf.
Well, it seems just about time for Nintendo to put out a game of their own because they haven't done a lot of that in a while.
This is true. Switch is randomly getting Legend of Mana.
Sure.
Just that's happening on June 4th. What else? This I found very interesting for many reasons. The developer of Donut County,
yes,
Mr. Esposito, right? Has a new game coming out called Neon White. It's a platformy shooter game.
With like a card system, right?
Some kind of card mechanic.
It's like a total departure from anything resembling what Donut County was, which is cool as hell, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how well it's going to sit with my child who loved Donut County. Would you turn your back on him?
I mean, there's a whole bunch of Katamari games your kid could be playing in the interim.
Yes, this is very true. But yeah, so that is coming out, which I think that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you watch that trailer?
It's got a style to it. Yeah, it's got a style to it.
I'm curious about the gameplay. Like the trailer showed a first person kind of kinetic jumping around game that also had a card, almost like a first person. Oh boy, what's the one that the game that Ben Pack played with the sword and you jump on the walls? It was like run based. It was a first person.
Mm-hmm.
You were kind of like a ninja.
Fucking the cyberpunk game that wasn't cyberpunk.
Yes. What?
Why did that just escape my brain too?
I don't know. It's Edge mastered.
I wanted to say Ghostwire, but that's not it. It's Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner.
Yeah, it kind of had that kind of like action, that fast-paced action to it, with a look of like No More Heroes, kind of, and then also this card mechanic happening. So I'm very curious to see how that all plays and how that is. So yeah. We'll see how that goes. You should watch the trailer if you're curious about that one.
Chad was talking about whether or not Mario Golf is going to be $60, and I don't know, but
it probably is. If anything else on that Nintendo Direct is an indicator, they're probably going to charge $60 for that game.
That's a big groan for me.
I mean, Nintendo's been
charging.
Yeah,
there's a bigger $60 groan that we'll get to, but
we'll get there. There's other releases too. Capcom Arcade Stadium that came out yesterday after the release. Stubbs the Zombie.
Hell yeah! Look at Stubbs.
Rebel Without a Pulse. March 16th. Thank you for reminding me that was a game.
Does it include the whole soundtrack? Because I feel like that was maybe the thing that got it pulled off Steam after a while.
I have a question about this game though.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was a game again until this morning. And I remember playing it, but I don't remember liking it. Was that a thing?
Fine.
Was this a game? Like,
it was fine.
Is this a game regarded in a capacity where it's like?
I think it's not a bad game.
Yeah,
I remember
it's not disliked.
Not hating it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of in that vein of like like a Raises Hell or something like that, sort of like well regarded but not necessarily beloved, like Majesco level property, where it's like there were people who dug it, but it was not by any regard a mainstream success, that kind of thing.
Like I think like No More Humans ish, like or Destroy All Humans ish, and what was the one where Never Dead? You remember that one? Was that the one where you're like, dude?
No, Never Dead is garbage. That game is actually just garbage.
Okay,
Stubbs is not that.
No, Stubbs is not that. But
the thing with this is it's not a remake. This isn't. They didn't remaster it. This is just like the game.
Yeah.
From 2005.
Also, we should mention this is I think Gershman brought this up, the soundtrack stuff, TBD. You brought that up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see if it,
because they had a bunch of like punk bands playing like old 50s crooner classics in that soundtrack, if I remember correctly.
Anyway, also on this mini release date list, Tales from the Borderlands, March 24th, a great day because it is my birthday. DC Superhero Girls Teen Power is June 4th. No More Heroes 3 is going to get released August 27th, and Knockout City is May 21st.
Well, Knockout City was I don't know what that is going to be.
That the dodgeball?
That was like the weird one that the trailer they showed where like had fake Counter-Strike guy sitting in a chair, and then fake orc from Warcraft sitting in a chair, and then all of a sudden they're playing this game. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I don't know either.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll also see what happens with the Switch getting Miitopia.
Yeah.
A lot of that reaction was basically it yesterday. It was like, some
like Mii stuff in there that's like, what are we doing with Mii's? What are we
doing? Back, baby.
Are they?
I guess. They never really left, but they haven't been a highlight in a while.
They really have not seen the spotlight in what feels like a decade.
They're like back there with the avatars, just kind of hanging out, like Microsoft's Avatar being like, when are we coming back? I don't know.
Anytime I boot up my 360, that avatar is still there. It is still there waiting for me to greet me and be like, hey, remember when you bought this fucking luchador mask? There you go. There it is. I'm still wearing it.
They are dumping a bunch of Mario junk into Animal Crossing.
Yep.
That fits.
That's happening. Yep.
There's a game called Project Triangle Strategy.
Working title. Yep.
Which is like
that's
the which is like the Octopath Traveler genre thing, and that all from Square Enix, my friends.
Yep. And you mentioned the World's End Club. Did you say that?
I didn't.
Down stuff. Okay, that one looked interesting. That's from the Zero Escape folks, and That's maybe the second thing that I really want to see. But apparently, when I was looking at it, or in this article you linked here, Jeff, too, it says some of it was on Apple Arcade, which maybe I can go check out and see what that game actually is.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know
how like certain games take that kind of path, but yeah. What that game? The developer that does the Mac.
Oh, the one with the guy in the place and the stuff.
I mean, that's it.
With the gun running around. Yeah.
Machinarium.
Yeah.
That developer has like interesting paths with platforms, jumping. You know, like the Creeks. They do Creeks. Is Creeks the game they did?
I don't think Creeks rings a bell. They did Chuchel. They did Machinarium, Botanicula. Bunch of stuff.
Okay, it might be all over the place here.
Sounds to me like the only creeks we got here are your wrist, man.
Wow.
Whoa. Wow. No, that is the same developer. And you shut your mouth with my wrist, sir.
Wow.
I will ask you
brought
once.
It up.
I will ask you once, and that is all I will ask you. Star Wars Hunters is coming.
What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
It's some sort of multiplayer shooting thing.
Zynga?
That is coming this year.
Heads up, that's via Zynga.
Okay.
I don't
so know what you're getting into.
What is that?
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know.
It's a Zynga product.
What else can you know?
I don't know.
It's got the Star Wars name on it.
Okay.
Anyway, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is getting a series of expansion items and things. That DLC is going to be hitting in the spring. I believe June is when it's going to be coming out, and there'll be new weapons, costumes, bunch of stuff like that. New challenges in the Royal Ancient Lab that people have been asking for, and that's that. Speaking of Link problems,
yes,
and ancient problems.
The thing we all feared, or at least I feared would happen, the thing I personally feared for many, many years is happening, and that is an HD port of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Will be making its way.
Return of Skyward Sword.
Making its way to the Switch.
Well, I think you're
on July 16th.
You're burying the lead here, which is was there Numa got up there and was like,
oh well, I didn't see it.
Yeah. So
what happened?
Zelda you wanted. Zelda, you're like, that's not going to happen. Which, listen, understandable. Development is in a weird spot right now. Not going to happen.
They still haven't really shown anything of that game yet.
No. And that's not going to happen. Or we don't have anything, we don't have anything to show. We're working on it. We're getting there. But, folks, buckle up. Here we go.
Have we got something for you?
Skyward Sword.
It's the one you wanted.
So listen, some people really like Skyward Sword. Listen, people are wrong about a lot of things, but
some people really like post them. Like it's like fine. Yeah, it's fine. You like that Zelda? That's fine.
I don't severely dislike any Zelda game. Right?
That's right. A bad Zelda game's still a pretty good game.
Exactly. Here's the thing, though. I'd rather be playing like a Wind Waker on my Switch.
People don't like Twilight Princess, but I actually really like Twilight Princess. I think Twilight Princess is a great Zelda game.
Okay.
I'd play that. Give me that.
Yeah, I'd play that too over over nothing else. Sure. That's where we're at. That's what we're going to have to do.
I think I'm not a huge fan of Link's Awakening, but I think Skyward Sword is one of my least favorite.
It's near the bottom of the list.
Main console games. I haven't played all the handheld ones, but I've heard that most of the handheld ones are pretty good.
Phantom Hourglass is good.
Yeah.
I like
it's got the two. Maybe they'll clean some of this up. So they're getting rid, or they're making the motion controls from the Wii optional. Wii.
Yeah.
The Wii.
Yeah, right.
On both, right? It was on both.
Put the Wii controller down to calibrate it. Yeah. So they're making that optional. And they're going to map some of that stuff to the right analog stick. I mean, you have to have those motion controls in there somewhere, or some analog for it, because that whole game was built around that.
Yes, it was.
That gimmick, right? Of like swing the sword left to right, swing it vertically. So they're going to do that. It'll be interesting to see. Maybe they can just speed up some of that early game.
I would be stoked if they applied some of the principles they applied to that Wind Waker remake and just trimmed up some of the parts that drove people fucking crazy. And the problem with that one, though, again, is that Wind Waker, a lot of that stuff was in the back third of that game. All that shit is right at the beginning of Skyward Sword. Like, it is a drag out of the gate, and it takes a while to wake up and like actually start doing stuff to the point where I got to the part where it started doing stuff and I was just burned out on it. I just didn't want to keep playing.
So yeah, they can tighten that stuff up, get rid of some of the hitting you over the head with every just rupee you take out of the chest, and tell Fee to chill out a little bit. Some of that stuff, I don't know, maybe they won't, who knows, but I think that game has like okay dungeons, like or like pretty good dungeons, and like once you're in the Zelda parts of it, interesting. I'll probably buy it because my kids really enjoy the Zelda franchise.
You're gonna pay $60 for that thing.
So here's the thing: I wouldn't, but like my kids, it'll be there. Well, that's not true. They played some Skyward Sword on the Wii U or the Wii U. Which one? I must have had it on the Wii U. When I paid $60 for my kids to check it out, they really like Breath of the Wild. I don't know, maybe it'd just be like, go play more Breath of the Wild. That's a really great Zelda game.
Just go buy a fucking Age of Calamity. That's like much closer, I feel like, almost than actually getting the Skyward Sword experience.
I don't know. It's like there's interesting stuff in that game. So the other part was them coming back from showing, hey, check this out, it's coming to Switch, Skyward Sword, and then being a bit of like a 2-minute little monologue about
my god,
why Skyward Sword is important for getting to Breath of the Wild. Without Skyward Sword, we would never have gotten climbing and the glider, and like quit shitting on Skyward Sword. It's an important part of this whole thing.
It made me so sad, and it's like, look, I get it. You don't want to like badmouth your own children. It's like you put a lot of devs put a lot of time and effort into that game. Totally. And I'm sure it stings that it is remembered the way that it is and is treated as this not quite pariah, but definitely an outlier in the series in terms of like, does anyone want to fucking play this thing? But like having to frame it that way and be like, look, it's cute too. It's not an ugly baby. There's things about it that are totally enjoyable. You'll like it. We promise. It's just sad, man.
My vibe from that was like, listen, without you want to shit on this game. Without this game, we would have never gotten Breath of the Wild. Y'all love Breath of the Wild. Y'all think that's the greatest game. But without this, who would have gotten there? And it's like, okay, relax. No, listen. We needed this. We needed this step.
It is such a wild way to like rationalize its existence. Is that the kind of like lecture you want to be having with us right now? Like, this just feels friggin' weird.
This was a little weird. It was, I loved it though. So yeah, that's gonna come out. That's gonna come out. It was a lot of and Splatoon 3. That's
Splatoon 3.
Yeah, there's a little teaser at the end there, which, by the way, apparently a whole bunch of you out there were not paying attention to the Splatoon lore. They're all freaking out about the fucking upside down, Eiffel Tower and the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Does no one know that game takes place in a post-human Earth?
I don't like.
They don't really lean. Do they lean into that?
There's stuff in those games where they talk about it, and they talk about finding old items from the old world, and it's just like, oh yeah, no, these humans were fucking dumbasses.
There was a fish holding a strap on a train. That was weird. Splatoon 3. I think the trailer starts off in this what might look like a more single player thing, but then kind of goes into show Splatoon footage. I don't know. Maybe there will be some.
It looks like Splatoon.
Stuff. Yeah, I still am not a huge Splatoon fan. I know that's a controversial opinion.
No, I'm not either.
Okay.
Hey, I love it, but I also get it. Like, I love it specifically because it's not really like other online shooters. But there are also things about that series, those first two games, that like Nintendo really needs to figure out for the next one. Like, they need to not do here's 2 maps for the next 3 hours. Like, that's not a thing anyone in the world wants.
I would like more single player stuff. I think that's the part I actually enjoy. I mean, I just don't play a lot of competitive multiplayer stuff, so that doesn't help my case. But yeah, I enjoy the like challenge levels from Splatoon 2 particularly. So yeah, Splatoon 3 another numbered Splatoon. So hopefully it's got enough.
But not this year.
No.
Not this year. And again, about this year, like I said, first direct in a very long while, and sort of pitched as a roadmap for 21, and we now know what that roadmap is. You would think that they would have talked about everything that they could that possibly would see a release this year, and it's understandably so. It is going to be light.
That road hit a dead end way faster than I thought it would.
It's, I think we're seeing development from 2020 now kind of in 2021. Like the hardships of development from 2020 we're going to be feeling that for a while. So,
and I'm not denying, I mean, obviously every studio and every publisher has had stuff impacted by this. And, I think the word going around last year was that Nintendo had a particularly difficult time with that because they are so adamant about people being in their main workspace and doing their stuff there that pivoting was difficult. But there's also so many lingering threads of things that Nintendo has announced and we are just kind of waiting on. And it's like addressing the Breath of the Wild 2 thing. I get it. And especially when all you have to show is Skyward Sword, you're like, you got to say something. Yeah. But again, we're no word on anything related to Metroid, nothing related to Mario outside of Mario Golf. And it's
that new
just,
Pokemon thing, the new Pokemon Snap-ish, whatever that.
And it's like I don't need them to belabor it, but even just an acknowledgement and saying hey, look, this stuff is still ongoing. We have not abandoned any of these things. We are still working on them. Aside from the Breath of the Wild 2 stuff, I think would have gone not a long way, but it would have been something to take a little of the sting out.
I mean, there was a tone throughout. I think that was like, hey, we're It's been tough.
Yeah. Whether if it's not ready, it's not ready. I get it.
Yeah.
Look, they did just sort of pull a brand new Zelda game out of their hat one time, right? Like
one time,
right? So here's holding
the Link's Awakening. The Link's Awakening DX, is that right? Or
no, Breath of the Wild.
Did they just drop that without any?
Breath of the Wild, if memory serves, Breath of the Wild was sort of just like. One day it was a game, and then it's gonna be the launch game, and it's also next month. And
I don't remember that.
How I recall that sort of rolling out. I could be a bit mistaken, but anyway, replay Breath of the Wild. That game's enormous. Anyway, what can I tell you?
I still need to actually finish it because I never did.
I feel like I'm judging a lot of my kids' video game acumen with every time they go back into Breath of the Wild. Like, okay, how far can we get? Are you ready to solve these magnet puzzles? Are you getting all this? Is the combat okay now? The traversal, at first it was very early on, like a year or two ago. It was like, are you good with the camera controls? Okay. And then
I shit the bed on Zelda. Yeah, sorry. They talked about the game for years and years and years. I think they just. Here's the thing. Here's what I remember, and what I'm getting right now. Here's a correction. They kept teasing it and delaying it, right? They announced it literally 8 years ago. And then all of a sudden, without any warning, it was like, hey, it's here, and it's ready. Right? That's what it was.
It sounds like you're rewriting the narrative here, but yes.
That is what I'm doing. I'm trying to cover my own ass here. I could be wrong about that, but I feel better about
maybe
that
it was
story.
that they announced it for the Switch, and they were like, this is going to, because I played it on the Wii U first, and then
what was the story where we went to that event, remember? In New York. You remember when it was the Switch reveal event? It was a January thing. Jeff came out. We were there, and one day we were just oh, Zelda's coming out, and it's coming out as a launch game. I just remember the fact that they announced it as a Switch launch, and the fact that it was so soon after.
So I think what I remember, and I'm probably getting this wrong.
You got to say that now. You got to say.
Yeah, you got to say it. Is I want to say that the Switch itself was rumored for a long time, but when they finally got around to announcing that it was happening, the lead up to the announcement to when the Switch was coming out was not a long time.
So maybe Breath of the Wild 2, you will have in a few years, you'll have the similar memories of that thing just came out of nowhere and dropped on the Switch 1.5. It just kind of launched on that re-release of that. We'd be like, I'm pretty sure that was like delayed. I'm pretty sure we had that whole direct. Do you think we're gonna get that revision? I know they said,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't tell if it feels like that because development might be slow. I know they said stuff that's like, don't expect it. We're not.
They've said stuff that they're not. I think they said something like, "Don't look here. Like, look over there." Like, there's some sort of like, we're not even working on it. We're not even thinking about it. I don't know. How do you not?
I hear internet rumblings bubbling up. That's like, the horsepower on that thing. Maybe they need to bump it up if they want to.
Yeah, it's like an Android phone. I mean, like, like you want to have something play in a little better. I don't know, but then again, everything proprietary, at least that comes after that.
Then again, we'll just wind up streaming them. I have. You tried the Switch streaming stuff, didn't you? Or no?
No.
Okay. Oh, right. So there's some other stuff in there. There's the Hades physical release, which I thought was interesting. There's the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, which has the 3 Ninja Gaidens, the 2 Sigmas, and the Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge.
But let's also be real. It's 2 Ninja Gaiden games and a piece of shit no one wants to play.
Wow. Was that the third
3
one?
is awful. 3 is fucking awful.
Okay. All right.
It is terrible.
Okay. I think I got out by 3. I mean, because don't forget, at the time, if you were keeping up, if you were living through the Ninja Gaiden thing, that was like 7 Ninja Gaiden games because it was like Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. There's a lot going on there. I really enjoyed those original. When Ninja Gaiden came out, it was one of the first games I played on a 720p TV. It blew my mind. I loved it. I thought it looked great, played great. It was amazing.
It was your TV?
Yeah. It was my TV. I was in Queens on the Sony XBR TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, now this is video gaming. Here we go.
Those first 2 games I think are great, and I think the follow-up versions they did of them were also great. So there is a pedigree there. It's just Ninja Gaiden 3 came in and just took a giant dump on all of it.
Jeez,
it's a bad fucking game, man.
I'm not saying it's good. I just love the way you're articulating it. All right, we can move on.
Nintendo Direct. There you go.
There it is. Putting the bow on it.
What else?
All right. There has been an update to the Xbox Series platform, and they're calling it. What?
I like that the generation, the Xbox Series generation.
Yeah, I mean, how else can you do it? You got to walk on freaking eggshells and glass to get through this. So there is something called FPS Boost, where they're basically slowly rolling out this update that will boost the frame rates of certain games and of backwards compatible games.
Mm-hmm.
And to start, there are 5 games that are getting this treatment. Some of them are running with twice or even 4 times the frame rates.
That's either a very bad game or too many frames.
Well, from 30 to 120, presumably.
Let's see what games we're talking about here. What games we're talking about?
All right, we're talking about Far Cry 4, Watch Dogs 2, UFC 4, Sniper Elite 4, and then new Super Lucky's Tale.
Okay.
Which, yeah, okay. I know.
I'm going to be honest. I thought when they were talking about backward compatibility, they were talking about older stuff. I guess I kind of forget that. I guess I kind of forgot that Xbox One technically counts as backward compatibility, even though it does kind of seem like it's just these are the older games that are working on the same framework platform. To me, I don't know. Like when I think backward compatible, I think shit that just won't boot if I put a disc in.
I thought they had been doing this since launch. I thought this was.
I mean, so
I thought this was like X enhanced.
Not to this degree, I don't think though.
This is a thing that Microsoft has been. I don't want to say they've been playing this game, but they've definitely been doing this thing where they sometimes over-announce stuff. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, that's what smart delivery is. But then again, smart delivery looks ingenious when you look at the convoluted, fragmented disaster that is like PlayStation 5 generational wonkiness.
Well, it just seems like Yeah, of course. It just seems like, yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe maybe shouldn't be a feature TM.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the right way is in the middle, right? The right way is between calling it a feature like smart delivery and just full blown broken nonsense. And just like, I don't know, the thing should just do what it should do. The same way, and like, I always say this, but like, that's why people love Apple shit so much, or maybe 10 years ago, people love Apple shit so much, because you just turn it on and it works and it does the thing and you don't have to worry about it. Right.
Okay. I'm going to put a pin just for a second. Remember,
put a pin, my
bandwidth.
Okay. Our manager here.
Yeah. Put a pin in this. We'll take this offline, but just remember where we are in this conversation, right? We're talking about the Microsoft. So when I was in the office, the thing I started doing was, because we're going to pack up these consoles, they're old consoles, who knows, when we're going to unpack them, whatever. I was like, I need to go and I'll initialize all these consoles, because some of us have accounts on them. I want to make sure that if they wind up, somewhere else, that, none of our accounts are accessible on these. So I initialized the consoles and everything's fine. I don't have internet in there because the internet's been turned off for our office. And I couldn't load PS4. PS4 was fine. Switch was fine. They want internet to make sure it's not your home console, but nobody had that set up anyway.
Yeah.
But the Xbox, once I initialized it, I could not get past the setup. I couldn't get past like step 2 of the setup phase without an internet connection. Like I could not do a like, hey, I'll set this up later, or hey, I don't have an internet connection. And just reminded me of the like, wow, this is a always connected console thing from the bygone Don Matrick days. And I just at some point just turned it back off and was like, okay, I was trying to set them up to just default users, but at that point, since I couldn't get on the internet, I had to just stop and setting it up. I did not know that was a thing, that you couldn't get past that. You couldn't say, hey, I'll hook you up later, or I want this to be an offline console.
So why did we put the pin in the conversation?
So we're going back now to features and over-promising, and you're rewinding the tape.
Got it. Okay.
And remember, always online. Go get your own. Go get your own console, whatever.
Got it.
Yeah. So now we're back to them boosting frame rates.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the story. I mean, I think some of this stuff is neat. I think the manner in which this sort of thing rolls out, I don't want to. These, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna take a shit on Super Lucky, right? Game's fine. It's a fun.
I never played
platformer. It's cute. It's fun.
It's all right.
I mean, I play a lot of weird games now that I wouldn't play.
I don't know if that one's that weird, but yeah,
that's not that weird. It's fine. It's a perfectly fine and capable platformer. But I think there's just interesting games there that they that they've kind of chosen, or at least that have made it to the point where they're rolling this out. But presumably this is going to happen with a lot of games moving forward, so that's cool. I don't know. That's really the long and short of it there.
Okay. Great.
I mean, is there anything else like to add to this kind of thing? Like, I think for games that maybe find themselves on Game Pass, and then you have this sort of upgraded fidelity, I think that's a nice thing. It is still cool to see a game get like 4 times its frame rate all of a sudden. Like
there's something like a little. Yeah, I think like you nailed it a little bit of like the branding of this is a stronger console that is making the game run faster is like a little, like maybe a little much, like because the PS5 has this as well, right? Like you're getting performance boost on PS5.
The PS5 does a really good job with some of its back compat.
So yeah, I think it's neat, but also like if you're coming from a PC world where it's like, yeah, this game runs faster now because I have a better graphics card and a better, my CPU is faster. I don't know. I'm being too cynical, but like putting a trademark on it, or like, being like, yeah, these games run better. It's a faster system. Maybe is a little much, but maybe that's a cynical take on it. Backlog, what else you got?
All right. Here is some games business news.
I love the biz. I love the games biz.
a Saudi sovereign fund has acquired a 3.3 billion stake in Activision, EA, and Take-Two.
Okay.
Which is quite a large. I don't think it's. I mean, it's pretty substantial.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. Like when you go through like the granular percentages, they're sort of like little fractions, but it is basically the country's sort of like almost like it's almost like this like hedge fund that the country invests in, and they've chosen to put that kind of money in those publishers, which is
terribly dissimilar from Tencent going around and buying up stakes in a bunch of different companies. I mean, obviously they've expanded upon that over the years, but there was a time, if I'm remembering correctly, where they were just kind of putting some investments in a whole bunch of different game publishers, weren't they?
Sounds right.
Yeah. They probably still have some of those stakes.
Yeah, it's called they call it the PIF. It's the Saudi Public Investment Fund.
Is this related to Neom? Is this the whole like future city thing? Like, because remember they had that whole.
Gonna live.
They had that the Future City Fund. They were like investing in like esports stuff. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that was like where they first kind of dipped their toes with that stuff.
That's kind of ringing a bell.
Yeah, it's been a while, but
yes, you're right.
Okay.
In June 2020, the League of Legends European Championship, a professional esports league run by Riot Games, announced a sponsorship deal with Saudi Arabian city building project Neom before backtracking on the move after significant criticism.
Yeah.
So the PIF is also a 4.4 billion stake owner in Uber. And a gold mining company in Alaska. And that's the portfolio we're looking at here, dude.
All right.
Here you go. That's all I got for that.
I love business.
The games industry is weird.
Business.
And speaking of weird, I was continuing to read that Xbox article as you were talking about the Saudi Arabia stuff.
Saudi Arabia is what I said. Yeah.
And it does seem a little more interesting than just pushing this stuff forward. It sounds like some of the stuff is on the DirectX level, which I think is interesting. I'm going to have to look into this more. So I don't want to be too flip about it.
Sounds like you're trying to recorrect. It sounds like you're trying to overcorrect.
Do you remember like when remember when Zelda just launched out of the blue?
Yeah, it happened with wow. It was like never announced.
I was scanning. It never happened.
No one said anything, and then one day,
so yeah,
Breath of the Wild, Switch launch game.
I was scanning. I'm sending in my correction before the corrections come in. That I'm looking deeper into this.
Your opinion cannot be corrected. Let me tell you.
My opinion that old games run faster. Old game runs better on new hardware. Is the flip comment, but the tech behind it does seem more interesting.
I think a shared opinion that we might have here with this situation is the messaging in which Microsoft, sort of sends this kind of stuff out. It's a tough needle to thread, right? Because they are these like underwhelming titles. What's going on under the hood is arguably more impressive than the quality of the titles that it is directly affecting right away.
Right. Yes. Like,
so
Sniper Elite 4 running, at 120. It's like, okay.
Like, no, you don't get it. Yes, it is.
Right.
Super Lucky's Tale.
Right. But this is how we're doing it.
We've rewritten DNA,
Right. Yes. That is the more interesting part than the frame rate being higher. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Look at it that way, right?
Yes, that's right. There, right. Yes. Okay. The white paper is more interesting than the actual product that comes out. What else you got?
All right, let's skip over. We'll get to the movie thing in a second. Let's skip over to this new. Speaking of Xbox, this new wireless headset that the company had been working on for a while.
Oh,
That
please,
is here.
Jeff, a new wireless headset. Who cares? I'm just kidding. I'm jumping up. I'm trying to get ahead of it.
Is that your opinion? Or
that's right. So they made it better. Big deal.
It's coming in March. It is their brand new headset that's going to work across platforms and with PCs as well. It'll have Bluetooth support. And it is basically a long time coming, in my opinion, because in terms of hardware, Microsoft had not really provided anything that could match the sort of proprietary stuff that Sony had been pumping out. And in my opinion, pretty damn good hardware. I think
it's not bad.
Do you like the new headset?
So the Pulse headset that Sony sent out, along with the PS5 stuff, has yet to really wow me. I use it when I'm in a pinch because it's just like you turn it on and you go and you're set. I've people who I play with tell me sometimes, and this is a direct quote, is not my words, it's their words. Sounds like I'm talking out of a butt.
Oh, okay.
So that is a thing that I am told all the time. I don't know. Whenever I hear myself back in the settings, I don't sound like I'm inside a butt.
Maybe the butt is in the internet.
What does that sound like?
What does being in a butt sound like?
Yeah.
I can't reproduce that for you here. Simply because I'm not on the other end of the.
You could. You won't.
I could. I just don't have it in me to do that.
I've already got enough injuries, right?
Yeah, seriously. I've already got butt wrist. I don't need freaking butt eyes.
I don't need butt mouth.
Come on, let's leave the real butt out of this.
That Pulse doesn't have. It's like the mic is built into the earpiece.
Yeah, it doesn't have a boom mic.
Doesn't have a boom, right?
So look, that's what I sort of equate that shortcoming to, but people do like that Pulse 3D headset. If you used any of the pre-gen ones, I think it's like the gold wireless headset, those are really good, and they play nice with Sony's proprietary like 3D audio stuff. And look, I use that A20, the Astro A20, that's multi-platform. They just need an extra USB dongle to play on Xbox and PlayStation with, and I really do love it. The only thing I don't love is when you do have to switch back and forth, you have to kind of go through the setup process, which is just amounts to like holding down a couple of buttons for 15 seconds, which, sounds like nothing, but when you're ready to go, it's maybe a bit of a pain in the butt.
I still have my old Astro, the ancient ones. I don't know the number of it, but to tell you how ancient it is, it's got the removable side panels that you can change out for, and one of them is he's got it. Backlash got it, and one of them says blur. So
the game blur.
Yeah, so it's they're pretty old, but I think it's a great headset. I'm a little afraid. I kind of baby it a little bit because I'm afraid the padding's going to start flaking off on the inside, the little ear stuff, but it hasn't.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, I use a lot of Astro stuff. I like their stuff. I haven't had a flaking issue. I think that might be a side effect of 70s era headphones that you just maybe don't have to worry about anymore.
No, I mean, listen, these headphones.
Don't leave them
Sony cans
overnight.
Do it eventually. Yeah,
yeah, that's true. How old are those?
The headphones I'm using now, not that old, 3 years, maybe 4 years. I don't know. My concept of time is terrible. They're probably 20 years old. I have no idea. So yeah, I like those. These headphones though for Microsoft, I love the deep cup on those. The ear. Those are these.
You're a deep cup guy, Vinny. Everyone always says that about you.
I like a cup that just grabs on and doesn't let go. So these look like you could fit a lot of ear inside that well.
Yeah, I mean they passed the sniff test in terms of what they look like. I think in terms of what a premium audio headphone product should look like. So I'm still very interested to obviously find out what they sound like. Battery life, they're saying, is going to be up to 15 hours. These are going to cost $100 when they come out on March 16th.
Okay.
And a bunch of dials on top of the ear cups, fine tuning EQ settings. So, I am stoked on that. I not to take anything away from third-party, headphone manufacturers. What's interesting to me is that, historically the audio coming out of these consoles was maybe not as sweetened as the third party, hardware, kind of added to that experience. From talking to companies like Astro, they're sort of saying now that like, no, Sony and Microsoft are really taking good care of their audio that's coming out of these consoles now. The mix is really good. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see.
Again, trying to just kind of scan through this pretty quickly here. Are these Bluetooth?
Yes.
So they'll work with anything that supports
and anything that's Bluetooth. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So let me ask you this: as somebody who doesn't really live in a Bluetooth world, I have Bluetooth earbuds for my phone. That's it. If you pair it with like a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox, so I turn the Xbox Series X on, PlayStation 5 is off. If I turn the Series X off and turn the PS5 on, am I good to go, or have to repair?
All that stuff varies by like.
It does. Okay.
There's a lot of moving parts in situations like that. Like I go through that nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah, I go through that nonsense with my earbuds. I have Samsung earbuds that I use with my phone and sometimes hook up to my PC, and sometimes they like fight over the connection. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Bluetooth audio in general.
Okay.
So
is it good now? Is Bluetooth audio better? Like in the later
in like the high end?
It's way better than it was, when it was like Bluetooth 2 and 3.
Okay.
Like I have somewhat high end Sony noise canceling Bluetooth headphones, and the audio quality on that is like pretty close to what you get if you just plug them in. Like it's very solid.
Okay. Good to know.
So yeah, that keep that on your radar. Presumably I'll pick up one of these and let you all know what I think.
And this does have a boom mic, by the way.
Yes, this does have a boom mic. Yes, it does. So so look out for that. Vinny, you found a very interesting story that I thought was worth talking about.
Rory sent me this story, by the way. I'll give him props there.
Yeah, NVIDIA self-published a story about how their RTX 3060 cards are going to be made in a way that deters crypto miners from using them as mining GPUs. And it has to do with something called the hash rate.
Uh-huh. Yeah, of course.
And that's, and again, I can't speak to what the hell that means, but the takeaway and the thing that most people should concern themselves with is that, and again, this is coming from NVIDIA's own editorial blog, so take that for what you will. But by limiting the hash rate, they are basically handicapping the mining efficiency by 50%.
Yeah. Can I read a sentence here?
Read it.
Fucking put on your fucking techno neuromancer hat, because here we go.
Wait. Are you gonna? Okay. This is real. This is real.
This is from the thing. To address the specific needs of Ethereum mining, we're announcing the NVIDIA CMP, or cryptocurrency mining processor, the product line for professional mining.
Yeah. You got it?
What the fuck is going on? Okay. Yeah.
I love how NVIDIA does talk to the public as if they're both, we're all on the same like server.
Wavelength.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, we all have ports in the back of our necks.
All right.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
I mean, okay.
Look, all I know is back in the day, the only time the hash rate mattered was how much hash you were putting in the brownies. That is the only amount of kind of hash rate I care about.
You did it.
I got there.
You did it. The ball was on the tee, and you said, "Give me that bat."
I'm going to read the rest of this because I think this part actually gets interesting. The CMP products, don't forget, the cryptocurrency mining products, for the needs of Ethereum mining, do not forget. Capital E in Ethereum.
Yeah.
CMP products which don't do graphics are sold through authorized partners and optimized for the best mining performance and efficiency. They don't meet the specifications required of a GeForce GPU and thus don't impact the availability of GeForce GPUs to gamers. For instance, CMP, the cryptocurrency mining processor, lacks display outputs. Yes, that would meet the needs of a
We don't need to see crypto. Let me tell you.
Like, I like that. For instance, this video card doesn't output video. For instance, CMP products lacks display outputs, enabling improved airflow while mining so they can be more densely packed. CMPs also have a lower peak core voltage and frequency, which improves mining power efficiency. Oh boy, what a weird...
The last time I looked, the amount of power mining Bitcoin currently takes.
We're talking about Ethereum, but yeah.
It's all this. Look, man.
I just want to set it straight here.
Is this what's
cryptocurrency? Whatever cryptocurrency, the mining of that process is greater than, I believe, the national power consumption of Argentina.
Ethereum mining.
Did you see what Bitcoin's at today, dude?
I think they're about to overtake Norway.
Dude, I
might have those backwards, but either way, those are not, I mean, they're not huge countries, but they are countries.
Well, I got bad news for you, Alex. This, according to this thing, again, like Jeff said, the RTX 3060 drivers are there to specifically detect Ethereum cryptocurrency mining and limit that hash rate, which is going to limit efficiency by about 50%. So we'll get ready for everybody using those for that to skyrocket. You're going to need 2 cards just to get one. I don't really understand what's going on. All I know is, hey, this is, again, top level Vinny here. Hi, this is top level Vinny. Are the cards going to become available and a little cheaper maybe?
I know. That's all you want to hear.
Is that?
I know.
Is that?
I mean, they had to solve this problem somehow.
I think that's what this means, Vinny.
I look, the way I would have preferred they solve this problem would be to ban any program that does this from using your hardware. But they also want to sell these cards to these fucking people who have decided that, just taking up the gross national fucking energy consumption rate of several small countries is worth it. I get it. They need to make money. That's fine. So they want to make sure their other video cards get in the hands of people who actually want to play fucking video games on them.
Yeah. Remember that. Weird.
But still.
Anyway.
Let's
make
I'm just going to say it right now. If you
pivot,
just real quick, just a last addendum. If you are someone who mines cryptocurrency in your spare time, you are my enemy. As a person.
In your spare time? What if you do it full time?
You are even more my enemy.
Okay. What if you're dabbling?
What if
we are enemies?
What if you just tip your full entire leg into that pool?
Then I don't want to deal with that leg ever again.
What if you only tip in Bitcoin?
What if it's my bad wrist?
That wrist is dead to me.
Alex, you own any part of a Bitcoin?
No.
Jeff, do you?
Yes.
I do not. Do you own...
Jeff's off the show. Jeff's banned.
Jeff, do you own more than one cryptocurrency or a portion of more than one cryptocurrency? You do.
Yes.
You do. How many do you own? Did you know what Ethereum mining was before I said it on this podcast?
I do. Look.
You deal. Listen, you're a tech
still
guy.
Snowing near you?
Do you guys remember Zelda when it just came? It came out of nowhere like a freight train. All right, let's move on to the next story.
I don't mind crypto.
Okay,
that was a joke. I don't mind it. I don't know how. I don't know the first thing. I don't know the first thing how. But
I don't know. I think I see a pickaxe back there. I think you're doing some mining.
Wait, do you remember that time you sent us all that little thing that little executable that you're like, hey, check this thing. Hey, you guys, I'm just gonna send you a thing. Just click on it.
Oh, weird! My processing power went up by 400% when I opened this. What's happening?
And then you're like, how come my fans won't stop?
My fans are so loud now. My video card no longer has display ports on it. Why do you want me to install this on my computer? I don't get it.
Owning crypto is not the same as owning a mining farm in your basement.
It's not the same. No,
one is a gateway to the other.
I am not here to listen. Do what you need to do.
I'm here to judge, and I am judging harshly.
What's the next news?
I mean, I own 5 electric vehicles. Does that make you feel better? No, I'm kidding.
That mine
Do you
crypto.
run them all the time to mine more crypto?
They mine crypto. Yeah, that's right. They mine crypto.
Don't make me laugh. It makes my good eye water.
All right.
Is that the end of the news?
Well, there's there's a couple things, isn't there?
All right.
There's one more thing that we have to talk about.
I may have one more thing as well, but you go ahead.
Okay. There's a new Mortal Kombat movie trailer.
Yeah, there is.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah.
It is in HD. No, look.
Kano says "fuck" in it.
Yeah, it's a red band trailer, so it's only for kids. And I gotta say, I think it looks interesting.
Not bad.
I think this is what I was getting at when I was talking about the last of, not to make this like a whole, our video game, is video game media good now? But yeah, I think we're getting there, and I think
the movie hasn't come out yet. This is a trailer.
But this trailer is better than the first two movies. What are you talking about?
Well, okay, now hang on. You want to say it's better than Annihilation? I'm with you. I'm on that. I'm on that tip, absolutely. But come on, the first Mortal Kombat movie is beautiful cheese. It is a delightful, stinky cheese that you can just enjoy in your time, and it's there, and all the ninjas are there. You're having a good time with your ninja friends.
If we did not have Skyward Sword, we would have not gotten to. We needed to have those things to get to this point, and now they know. Now they know. I like that part where that Sub-Zero freezes Jax's arms, and then that's
some world building right there.
That's a scene right there. I enjoyed that trailer. I was a little confused by it.
What were you confused by?
Is the person? First of all, I'm always confused when somebody has an extremely detailed diagram on their body, and then somebody's like, "It's a birthmark." It's a birthmark. It'd be like, okay, well, all right. So yeah.
Look, how do you? Whether you got a fucking diagram of Whistler's mother on your ass or a fucking dragon emblazoned on your chest. You gotta. They have to know. It can't just be any birthmark. It has to be a specific one.
It was a birthmark. That's just that is just the Mortal Kombat logo. Yeah, weird how that happened. Anyway, so that Scorpion, that character?
No. Scorpion is played by Hiroyuki Sanada, who you may know from movies like The Last Samurai, Sunshine, a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
Fairly famous Japanese actor.
Yes.
He's the older dude in these slightly yellow ninja robes that shows up and says, "Get over here."
Yes, I saw the part where he takes the gardening tool and then starts spearing people through the head, which I thought was pretty cool. But so who is the character with the birthmark?
His name is Cole something. The actor is, I think, named Louis Tam. He is, on the surface at least, appears to be a new character. Now, if you were to tell me at some point that new character at the end of the movie gets a film deal and someone tells him, "You need to change your name, it's not catchy enough," he's like, "Well, what about Johnny Cage?" I would believe that.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily know that's what's happening here, but it is at least at first glance, it appears to be someone's fan service self-insert character into the Mortal Kombat universe.
So I thought from the trailer, I was like, oh, are they going to tell the tale of Scorpion? Like, because it seemed like that was an older version of Scorpion. They're going to die, and he's going to become the new Scorpion later on. But okay, I was maybe way off base on my read from that.
It was tough to follow, I think.
Yeah, it's not really clear what they're doing with the lore.
Yeah. Or how much they're going to pull in, right? Like, are we going to have, the lore from Mortal Kombat? Like, are we going to have to bring in the Sub-Zero, multiple Sub-Zeros, different versions of Scorpions into this?
Here's my quick read, is that they're very clearly framing Sub-Zero as an antagonist in this one, because he's the guy who fucking knocks Jax's arms off, and he seems like he's doing evil Lin Kuei shit.
Yeah.
So my guess is that is old Sub-Zero, the one who dies and then eventually becomes Noob Saibot.
Yes. If they're following
if they're following that stuff. And it does seem like we are in the pre-Demon Scorpion range here before his entire... I don't know if his clan is wiped out at that point or what,
right?
But he seems like he's not dead yet. And they show, there's a brief flash of Shang Tsung. There's a brief flash of a decidedly unrubbery Goro, which I was kind of bummed out about.
Yeah.
Bring back rubber Goro. Kung Lao's in there, Kano's in there, Jax is in there. No Johnny Cage. I assume Sonya was in there. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure Sonya's in there. It seems like they're at least covering most of the spread between Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 characters.
Looks interesting.
It looks it. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Only one cheesy shot that I was like, that shot doesn't look good. And it was the Kano I-beam where it was like in full profile.
Yeah, why'd that look all weird?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe the effects aren't done yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's coming out in 2 months. I mean, they better fucking get their.
It looked like they were hiding the part where the the beam was coming out in a weird way, and I was like, okay, that looks a little funny.
Here's the thing. All I wanted from this movie, and my list of wants was very short because I don't expect anything from video game movies. All I wanted was for this movie to look like it's having fun making Mortal Kombat.
Sure.
And so far it kind of seems like they are.
Kind of seems like it is.
We'll see how it is in the final form, but like they hit enough of the beats that I wanted. I mean, unfortunately, the actual beats were not there. No Mortal Kombat techno theme, no revamped version of it that we know of yet. Maybe they're saving that for later. I don't know. All I'm saying is we need an updated Mortal Kombat theme. Absolutely. But it seems like they're having the right amount of fun with it. It didn't feel dour and overly serious, at least from what I was getting from it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Do you think it'll come straight to homes, or do you think this will be a
theatrical? Yeah, it's going straight to HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max.
Oh, there you go. Great.
Well, yeah, I mean, they already announced all Max, WB things will be.
Yeah. Oh, I did not see that. Okay.
Yeah, I think that would have been a great movie to see at like 2:00 on a Wednesday with one other person in the theater and just like hoot and holler the whole time. That would have been a good time, but obviously that's a long ways off.
Wait, so all the Warner stuff is coming to is being distributed there? Wow.
I think they might have slightly walked back that a little bit because there were a couple of people that got real fucking mad about it. Like Chris Nolan was real mad about it.
He says apparently doesn't matter anymore. So
I'm just saying, like they may be adjusting that for some of the biggest tentpole stuff, but yeah, generally speaking, I think that is their policy going forward.
That Wonder Woman came out, right? That
but now it's gone.
Oh. Wait, really?
I'm pretty sure it's gone now.
I thought I just saw it on like Amazon Prime or something.
Maybe to
everyone hated it, so they just got rid of it.
I'm correct. I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman was like 30 days, and that was it.
Well, eventually it'll show back up there, but it's just not now.
1984 is that what's called? Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
George Orwell's Wonder Woman.
Were the reviews not good for it? I have not.
I don't know. They were bad. Yeah, I kind of didn't pay attention to the reception of that movie.
They were very bad.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I kind of just the decision to just have a red band trailer is I think is like kind of just like the way we need to moving forward. Like, what are you hiding behind? A green band trailer, right? Like, just get it over. Like, get it. Like, we know what we're doing here.
Did they call them green band? Are there blue band trailers?
The like red PG band ones? Trailers are prefaced with that red title.
Actually, I think there are blue band ones.
Okay,
there are blue band ones, but they're the ones that haven't been rated yet.
Interesting.
Oh, like rating pending ones.
That's what I remember.
Well, maybe green band is acceptable for all audiences.
Yeah. I thought blue was PG, but maybe I'm wrong.
Interesting.
Anyway, that Mortal Kombat trailer looked good.
Yeah, looks all right.
Yeah, that was fun.
And finally, we can put unless Alex, you have something else. The Mars rover has just landed.
Hey, safely.
Oh, awesome!
Like
Perseverance is, and it's already tweeting. It's already tweeting from the Martian surface.
Oh,
is
fantastic!
Should we unfollow it? What did it tweet?
Has it said anything problematic?
It's been canceled.
There it is. That's perfect.
That's good luck out there, buddy.
Yeah,
it's cold on the Martian surface. Is it cold? I think it's cold.
It is cold. Yes,
it should be cold. It's far away from our sun.
There's barely an atmosphere.
Good luck out there. We don't support you.
What? No. I want to.
It didn't get canceled. Don't worry.
Good. Yeah. I want to see what the things they find in that. Is it a riverbed or lake bed? The where they think the water was there.
No. Oh, I don't know. There's definitely water on Mars. I mean, I think we know that, right?
Ice.
Yeah, you don't want to drink it though. It's bad. Yeah. Tastes bad.
You gotta filter it. It's worse than Jersey water. Let's get out of this segment. We are running on time here.
I did just want to very briefly touch on a thing. There's a bunch of rumors going around about Silent Hill business today. There was some loose talk that the Bloober team folks might be doing a Silent Hill game because they've been talking about how they are working on a big licensed property for another studio.
Okay.
But Konami has come out and said that yes, there is Silent Hill stuff in the works, and it sounds like The scuttlebutt on top of that is that they have licensed it out to a Japanese developer, a fairly prominent one, to make the next Silent Hill thing. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Bloober isn't working on something Silent Hill related. It's all very hard to say. It's a lot of rumors happening right now. All I'm saying is I didn't like the medium very much. Maybe they're not who I would go to for that.
Is it possible? Okay, knowing nothing, having heard nothing about this, is it possible they were maybe working on a Silent Hill thing that fell apart and that turned into the medium, and they were able to keep some of the work on it?
I got more the opposite, which is maybe they made the medium to try and pitch and say, like, what if we made this next? And maybe that wasn't the best pitch. I don't know. Again, this is all a lot of rumor right now. All we know is that there is something Silent Hill happening with Konami, but the actual details of it are not known yet.
Wasn't this kicked off by that composer who said that they were working on a thing?
Maybe. I don't remember how it started. All I got today was just like Bloober team is making Silent Hill. Actually, maybe they're not. Actually, this Japanese studio is maybe working on this, but actually maybe there's two Silent Hill. I don't know. It's a lot of rumors.
Also, what is Konami now?
Yeah,
exactly. They're they own health clubs.
Just give me some fucking Silent Hill.
Yeah,
I'll take it however I can get it.
All right, let's
now we can move on.
Yes, thank you. Let's get out of this. We'll do a quick email section here, and we're gonna wrap up. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few minutes here. And we are back, and it is now time for emails. If you've got an email, you can send them into beastcast@giantbomb.com. That is beastcast@giantbomb.com. Thank you, everyone who sent in emails. Of course, we can't read them all on the air, but I did forward them around to the folks that needed to get them, especially all those static emails I sent you, Jeff Bakalar. Hope you solved your static problem.
Meanwhile, I'm still shocking the shit out of everything.
Dude, not for lack of people giving you suggestions, though.
No, I appreciate it. A lot of people have chimed in. I've talked to a lot of people. We're going to get there.
You're gonna get
and
there.
When I say we're going to get there, we're going to wait for the summer.
That's right. Did you get a humidifier?
Yeah, it's right here. It's not doing shit.
Okay. Was it shaped like a duck or something fun, maybe? Like a giant mushroom or something?
Like a little penguin.
Yeah, that's cute. All right. Well, beastcast@giantbomb.com. This is episode 300. So, Alex, why don't you read this one from Kyle?
Sure thing. Kyle says, all hail the greatest beasts in the East. Oh, thank you. Congrats on 300 episodes. I've been a listener since episode 0 and have cherished every one. I heard you folks were in need of some email music, so I thought I'd compose something that was a blend of the opening theme with a corrections vibe. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for many years of entertainment. Also, P.S. I was the winner of the Explain Halo in 30 Seconds contest.
Yeah.
Is this Dr. Halo?
Congratulations, Kyle. Was Kyle the Dr. Halo from Arizona?
I don't remember if that's where that came
now
from.
I don't know. Now I don't know if we gave that the winner.
I don't know if we did. But congratulations. So I have it here. Ready to hear it?
Yeah,
This is from Kyle. Now, I'm not saying, Kyle, we're going to use this forever. But here we go. We're going to audition this here right now.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, that's
jazzy.
That's
ragtimey.
That's fun. Thanks, Kyle. We'll see about it.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle. I enjoyed that. It put me in a great mood. Wow. For this next email, Jeff Bakalar. I feel like answering emails now, so it worked. Jeff Bakalar, why don't you take this one from Matt?
Greetings, Beastie Boys. You're playing a video game. You come to a T intersection. You can't see far in either direction, but both look the same. Which way do you go?
Which way do you go?
Oh, is this just like a left-right thing?
Yeah, it's literally like, which way do you tend to go in those situations?
I mean, you're just flipping a coin, so I'll just say right.
My answer is I would go left.
Wrong.
No, you go left until you feel like you've gone and it's the right way, and then you backtrack and you go the other way until you hit the dead end and where the treasure chest was, or the coin or whatever, and then you go back left if it was the right way.
Well, we're gonna find out. Well, actually, this is either like a thought experiment, or it is a personality test, or I mean, if you're talking about a way to comb an area effectively, like we could really make this question to be more than it truly is. But I want to hear what Alex has to say.
I don't choose.
Oh no! You just turn the game off. You just stop.
I start to nudge in either direction with absolutely no notion of which way I'm going to go. And as soon as I start to see that maybe there's something on one side or the other, no, actually, I'm right-handed, so usually I tend to just like, okay, check out the right side, and then I go to the left side. That's it. That's really how my brain works. It's just I have a right dominant side, so it's like, all right, I'll go over there.
See, I think I want to go. I think I assume the right side is the proper path, and that's why I'll go left first to make sure it's like, oh, what was hidden behind that?
That's the sinister path.
Yeah, the sinister path. The sinistra of go that way.
I've done shit like that too.
Yeah.
But I feel like the move to, I mean, again, it's really just what your dominant side is. But to comb things properly,
yes, comb it.
You can go either way. There's no right or wrong.
Yeah, you got to eventually check out both sides, right?
Exactly.
You can go your own way. All right, this next one here comes from Alex from Brentwood. Alex says, if you had a choice of $1 million tax-free, or have the ability to eat anything you want, anytime you want, with no negative health effects, which would you choose?
Oh, this is so easy.
Yeah, me too.
And if
this is super easy.
Okay, I assume it's to eat anything, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
$1 million does not go as far as maybe it used to.
Yeah, I mean,
so basically, I mean, I agree with you, but it is we have no self-control. We need, I cannot take $1 million and then be trusted to not just spend that on food that I will.
No negative health effects.
Oh
no negative health effects.
Oh my God. Of course.
Yeah.
It's
not even close.
Think about the way you could do though. You could go like exploring with like a bag of Cheerios and just eat one Cheerio for, and be satisfied. Does
this also mean you wouldn't even gain weight? I'm assuming.
I think if you consider that a negative health effect, then you're
yeah. I mean, come on. It's not even a consideration.
It only gain the weight you want to gain.
I can eat bacon all day, every day, and chicken parm for breakfast, and just garbage candy all day. Yes.
Well, here's the easy answer. You do this, don't tell anybody, and then make somebody $1 million bet that you could eat some dumb food for a year and like live off
and
of
not
it,
die.
And not die. Be like, hey, I could eat a leaf. I could eat leaves for a year for $1 million. Be like, you couldn't.
Yeah, it sounds like a rejected Twilight Zone plot. I mean,
I don't know. Did you see that last Twilight Zone? They weren't rejecting much.
Okay. So the follow-up question here: if you chose to eat anything, what would your diet consist of? It would probably be just junk food. It would be
just endless sugar. Endless sugar.
Ooh,
and endless like red fucking meat forever.
Yeah,
like
salt too. Like the saltiest food.
Fillets, lobster tails.
Oh, really?
Oh, I mean, lobster's not bad for you. But like, lobster tail's not bad.
You know what?
But like dunked in a gallon of butter.
Yeah, I might not go that route just because I'm trying to taper the amount of meat eating, not just for my own health, but just, for the sake of.
I meant beyond, but yeah.
Yeah, but yes, beyond, and also any sort of junk food that is not heavily meat based. I would be shoveling that shit down my gullet. Like I would do the fucking thing where I pull my jaw out and then just dump a bag in there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think for me it's probably processed foods, like the most carcinogenic, terrible
like
yellow
just
number
eat
5.
Bologna forever.
Just Lunchables, just dumping. Just I don't know, like whatever salted horrible thing that I look at the ingredients and be like, the one of those is food. All right, I'm going to read this one quickly here. This one comes from a user named Drunk Bulgarian. Not necessarily a question, but might be a relevant tip, especially these days. I'm a contractor, and it's not crazy to be wondering about leaking pipes, especially this time of year. I had mentioned that, like, I constantly feel like my pipes might be like leaking my walls. If you're ever worried about that, tell your family not to use any water for about 15 minutes and go to check your water meter. Open it up and you should see a little dial and numbers. Watch it for 5 minutes and see if that dial is slowly spinning or if the numbers are going up. If so, go check your toilets and see if the rim shows any water dripping. If so, change your flappers and repeat the process if your toilet was leaking. If the dial is spinning, you have a leak somewhere. If for some reason you have a lock on your meter, call the water company to unlock it. It should be unlocked anyway. Also, you can get a key for that lock, he says, for $10. Thank you, Drunk Bulgarian. I know there's a lot of folks, especially now in the Texas area, that are worried about pipes and burst pipes and leaking pipes with the lack of heat there.
And also know where your emergency water shutoff thing is.
Yeah, get yourself what is it called? A bung wrench. Not a great name for a wrench, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, in my house, it's just a lever.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about. I'm thinking of the square gas. Thing. Yes.
Don't try and one up me.
What's that called? Pickhock valve? Is that what?
Here we go. Is the one-ing up? He's one-ing up. He's like, oh, it's just a valve. Well, here's 8 things you've never heard of. I fucking live at Home Depot, motherfucker. That's what you're trying to do. No, I know what you're trying to do.
No, it's fun to talk.
Don't do that. You can do that shit when we talk on Discord. Not here.
I didn't know it's a thing. If it bothers you and it's a thing, you should tell me on Discord. I didn't know. I'm not trying to one up you. I'm just thinking through. It's just happening. Yeah. I'm not doing fucking bung valve flexing.
Sounds like it, bud.
I'm not.
Speaking of which, I need to go flex my bung valve.
Do your Kegel exercises. What's up next? Let's do this. Bacalar, why don't you take this one from Maria?
Sure. Hey guys, are there any subjects you have a vast knowledge of despite never engaging with the subject itself? Thanks to the Giant Bomb staff, I am familiar enough with wrestling history that I could immediately recognize Alex's New World Order shirt on UPF, even though I've never actually watched any wrestling.
Definitely from doing this job with y'all for forever. I mean, I don't know anything about pinball, and now I know a lot about pinball stuff. Drumming.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. I appreciate and listen to every bit of new information you drop about pinball, new terminology. I really respect it when I'm talking about pinball and I'm getting stuff wrong. I appreciate it when you jump in and tell me new words or new valves or new terminology. It's great. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Vinny, I know more now about Transformers and big robots than I ever did.
And you know,
Austin's responsible for some.
Yeah.
No, I really didn't. I didn't know that. I mean, I watched Transformers when I was a kid, but I didn't really know much about it beyond that. And, Austin's also responsible for my interest in big robots now, but you are also partially responsible for that. And I know a lot more about woodworking than I ever did, and just home repair, home maintenance. Things I have never experienced in my lifetime because I am a chronic renter.
Yeah, house ownership, weird one.
I look forward to it someday.
Wrestling, definitely. I don't watch a lick of wrestling, and obviously there's plenty of wrestling, less so weirdly now on this podcast than there used to be, but still I somehow keep up.
I'm barely watching it, man. I'll tune into AEW now and again. I'll watch some of the big. AEW is fine. Like, the stuff I've watched has been fine. They're doing an exploding barbed wire death match soon, so that's going to be fucking exciting.
On AEW?
Yeah, they're doing there's Kenny and Dean Ambrose / fucking John Moxley are both big old hardcore wrestling nerds, and they were probably watching the same FMW compilation tapes that I was watching when I was a teenager. So explosion barbed wire death matches are maybe the apex of dumb fucking wrestling. So I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, other than a little bit of AEW here and there and a little the bigger New Japan shows, I'm not really watching anything. I'm just not in it right now.
Related to wrestling, Fire Pro Wrestling. I feel like I know a lot more about Fire. That was nothing I knew about. I didn't know anything about that game, that series, that franchise, and I know a lot about that now. I'm trying to think.
Do you feel better for having known?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, knowledge. Okay. Even if I am always appreciative of knowledge. I'm trying to think back there's stuff. You live in you got me into that world of I didn't go too deep into crypto. No, now I'm like a huge crypto
yes,
nut.
the new world order.
No, you dive into like the custom PC stuff in a way that was like fascinating to me. Like the stuff you used to show me about people bending their own tubes and like,
sure.
all that stuff is wild. Who are the folks that you visited in Jersey that did that stuff? The custom PCs.
Oh, the main gear people, yeah.
Man, that stuff is wild. Different worlds, just different worlds, like stuff I never would have been in. For sure. Hey, you hang around people long enough, you pick up a thing or two.
Rubs off. Yeah, rubs
right off on you.
Just a quick fun fact about that NWO t-shirt. That is the NWO t-shirt I have owned since I was a teenager.
So that's like the one, right?
That's the one I bought at like, I don't know, fucking Target or something.
Oh.
No, it wasn't at a show. I only went to one WCW show ever. And it was like Super Brawl 2000 or something. Like it had gotten pretty bad by that point. But no, that was the only NWO shirt I've ever owned, and somehow it still fits me. So I win.
You win. Congratulations. Hey, I've got two bins of shirts that don't fit me that are in the like. Maybe someday they'll fit again. That's gonna do it. Should we end this show?
300
folks. And do we hit 300 minutes? That's what I was really going for. We're probably getting close.
What is this? The Snyder Cut?
Hi-oh! That's the only movie thing that I keep seeing coming up, and there's so many. I can't tease out what is a joke from what is real now. I have no idea what is.
It's all a joke and it's all real.
Okay, that's gonna do it for this week's show. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm thinking about just
420 just in time.
Happy birthday if it's your birthday out there. And if you're in the Texas area or the surrounding area, it's affected by the miseries that are going on there. Hope everything is getting better. Hopefully it'll warm up there soon. Hopefully not too much water down. Whole mess of stuff going on there.
And if you're not there, look up mutual aid groups right now they're doing work on the ground in Texas, because it is a bad scene down there right now.
Seems like a tough spot to be in. We can start this. Wow, that's not it.
That's not the one.
That's my whole thing is messed up here. Here it is. Yeah. That seems like a tough business. Water damage sucks.
Yeah. No fun.
Thank you, Jeff Bakalar.
Of course.
You got anything going on posting we should keep an eye out for soon?
We're doing like a TV feature. If you're looking for the perfect gaming TV, I'll do some interviewing with David Katzmeyer. That's going to publish in the next week or so that'll be fun.
Give me the short. What's the perfect gaming TV?
The one you can afford. the most expensive one you can afford is probably the best one.
I don't know. I'll have to wait for the article on that. I'm not sure I trust that.
Yeah.
Alex Navarro, enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Thank you.
No drumming today.
One more day of it. No drumming today. I will be back next week.
Yes. Thank you very much, Alex, for coming on the show today.
Wouldn't have missed it.
And for recording that ad earlier this morning with me. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Hope you're staying safe out there. I feel like some rays of sunshine, hopefully around the corner. Maybe not quite right now, but maybe the clouds will be parting soon. So stay positive, stay safe, stay listening to the Giant Beastcast. See ya.